Hey, we're back live. Yeah, just having quick chat. Hopefully Phil will join. There we go.
There we
Hey,
go.
so we're,
Hi.
we're live.
Yep.
We are live.
We
Yes,
are alive.
back
Uh,
again. Guess who's
mm-hmm.
back? Back again.
Came back again.
Phil
Soon
is
people
back.
will come in the
Tell a friend.
chat.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Da da da.
I actually like that profile there with the afro.
Which
Hi
one?
Ali.
Hey,
What you have up there with the afro, the afro
ah,
humanist.
someone sent me that
I,
lovely picture. Oh, actually, what
unfortunately, I
they
don't have
did.
anything.
Oh, yes. I need to try something out. Brand. Can you? Okay, I want to try something. Um, hmm. So, Phil, what did you think of the interview?
That was really wonderful, and I
Yes.
mean, it was very clear and enlightening. A different aspect too of street epistemology,
Mm,
more so it's
mm.
Socratic. Because I realized, yeah,
Questioning,
epistemology uses Socratic of
questioning.
questioning. Yeah,
Right.
and he made it very clear. You bypass rather than being sidetracked by the top layers. You
Mm-hmm.
try to get, you know, down to the actual root
Right.
because those are like shields. Oh, yeah, I believe the Bible is this because this version goes back to the original.
Mm-hmm.
But so if the others were shown to be, that was shown not to be the original, will you still accept, believe, you know?
Mm.
Then if it is yes, that's not the foundation for your, for the person's belief.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you keep hatching away slowly and slowly.
Elle says, "What
Oh
fresh
goodness.
academic nonsense are we discussing?" Elle, we just finished a very beautiful stream. We were just talking
Yeah.
to Dr. Tyrone Wells,
Wells.
a really
Mm.
nice gentleman, very skilled in his
Skills.
craft. He
Yep.
is awesome.
In
You know,
communication.
he grew up in Christianity, but he's now an atheist, scientist, and somehow has worked his way out of the religion.
Yep.
And just his process. How did he come away from
Mm-hmm.
religion and now identifies as an atheist? He has a wonderful channel where he talks about. Uh,
Let's
yeah,
chat.
the name of his channel, Let's Chat. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was nice to Scapegoat Iscariot says finally the first one to show up. I don't think so. Elle looks like the
No.
very first one.
Yep.
Hadrian Heyman says, "You guys are amazing." No, Hadrian, you are amazing. That's a nice name. I don't think I've ever heard anyone called Hadrian. Hmm.
Mm.
I've heard of Adrian,
Yeah.
but I've never heard of
Of
Hadrian.
Adrian. Mm.
Adrian Heyman. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. I just posted Dr. Tai's channel link there
Okay, okay.
in the chat. So
That's
those
Shay.
who did not.
That's what I was singing. Guess who's back? Back again. Esther's back. Hello, friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Na na na. Hey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this this is
We,
this
we,
is
we
an
we have to have a dance or something.
I recently found your channel and I'm addicted. I'm glad to hear that. Oh my, that
Mm,
makes me feel good because
yeah.
when I started, I was thinking, who would want to listen to me? Who would want
Yeah.
to? Because when I see all the Matt Dillahunties and the Aaron Rods, they're having all
Right.
these conversations, they're speaking all this, I'm thinking, I said, well, let me someone it was someone that said something to me, and that stuck with me. They said,
Mm.
start your channel. There is an audience for everyone. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, I'll start my channel. There will be an audience. And
Yeah.
yes, thank you, Adrian. Uh, you are you are one of the people that makes this all worthwhile. So thank
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you know that your the subscription went up over about 3 weeks.
you. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Phil,
following.
Phil, you keep track. I don't.
I keep track. I
Because
keep
one
track.
thing, one thing, one thing you must
So,
know, Phil, is my anxiety levels with some things. I've got
mm-hmm.
to keep that in check. If I
Right.
start concerning myself with how my channel is
My
growing and how
channel is growing. Yeah.
it's not good
Yeah.
for my mental
Mm-hmm.
state, not good. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't bother, because I
Yeah.
might start looking at the to you might look at numbers and think, wow, you're doing amazing. I would look at it and think, I'm not doing so well. This is bad. I must be doing
Oh,
something wrong. So no,
oh,
choose not to do
that's
that.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
quite fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know I've been following.
Yeah, nice.
So on occasion checking this,
Okay. Oh, Phil, listen, Phil,
you
you
know
you
that's
you
me.
are just you are just amazing, because you you're very thorough, very
Yeah,
thorough.
yeah, I go.
Hadrian, as an ex-Muslim atheist, non-black
Oh,
individual, I cannot express how much I admire you guys.
wow.
Ex-Muslim,
We probably
ex-Muslims,
need to
I
get him on
respect.
here. Maybe
I
we need to get him
respect.
on a time to do his deconvergence story
Ah,
in terms
yes.
of yeah,
I said to the people, if you would like to come and share your deconversion story, just let me know. But nobody
right.
has since said anything. Nobody has contacted me yet. So what I would do, I
Yeah.
would put a post on the
Mm-hmm.
community tab, and you know, I look. I want
Yeah.
everyday voices. I want
Yeah.
just the everyday people. You don't have
Yeah.
to be. You don't have to
Doc,
be have
there's
a
top
doctorate.
notch and doctor.
Anybody can work out that religion is bullshit. It's
Yeah.
absolutely bullshit. Anyone can. If children can do it, then what are we talking about here? You
Yeah.
know? So
Yes.
you have a
And
unique experience as a black African woman, trust me. I felt very lonely when mm, I can relate.
yeah.
I was looking for voices like you. I googled Black African atheists. Interesting.
Mm, mm,
I've even
yeah.
considered changing my name to the Afro atheist. Maybe that
Mm,
will be better, but we'll see. No, no,
yeah.
no, no. No. Paul Shatler, thank you. This is super shady. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
Yes. Ex-Muslims have big balls. Big. I tell you,
But yes. But
ex-Muslims. There's
yeah.
that threat. There's
Yeah.
that threat
Is
when.
that correct? Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Their lives are usually put in danger. You know, especially if they live in areas that
Yes.
there's big Muslim community, especially like Nigeria, northern Nigeria,
Mm.
and some of those northern African countries
Yeah.
too. It's serious. I mean, people people have been killed for expressing because for them it's you're apostate and they talk about kill the apostate. It's all
Yeah.
as we realize a fear. All these religions, especially Abrahamic religions, other religions, use fear tactics to try to keep people in, even though people don't believe. A lot of people in the religion but don't believe.
But Phil, how are they all Abrahamic? So that means they all stem from this one man, Abraham.
Yeah,
But
from there,
how do they differ so
widely,
just it's and
it's all like
I
a
was
cult,
I
cult
was
of this,
surprised. I was surprised to find out that those three, Christianity, Islam, and
and
Judaism,
Judaism.
are not the only Abrahamic faiths.
Oh,
There's more.
okay.
There are more religions that are. Let me do it. Let me show you, Phil. Hmm. I was
Wow.
surprised. Hey, Robert X, I see you
Hi, Robert
in
X.
chat. Who else? Yeah, Dark Voices ASMR has actually shared his story
Oh,
before.
okay.
He was in a cult
Ah,
and never believed.
well,
He
you're
was he
right.
grew up in a cult,
The
but
cult,
just
but never
never believed. And
believe. Right.
that was a surprise to me because you never believed and you grew up this way. How did that happen? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Abrahamic, let's see. Abrahamic religions. Abrahamic religions. Let's see. Mhm. Other Abrahamic religions. Right. Okay, let me share my screen here. Hey, Natalie says, just popping in to say hello. I missed the live. I'm going to catch up. Oh, that's
Mhm.
absolutely fine, Natalie Sparkles. Good to see you here. And
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
for making it sparkle.
Yeah.
Oh, sparkly, sparkling.
Sparkling.
I think I should add, I need to add some more of those. It just looks
Mm.
scanty. Looks
So you
so when
mean
I
with
get
a different?
any chat money, I'll add
Yeah.
yeah, it just I don't know, it just
Yeah.
doesn't look
Yeah. Just like
full
yeah,
enough.
in between. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there are gaps that need filling.
Gaps.
So
Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
when if anyone contributes to the channel, I shall be adding to that
With
because it
that.
is nice. The
Oh
LED,
yeah.
these are
Yeah.
LED, and my light isn't on.
Yeah.
The main light, the light's
Whoa.
not on. I've only got that and
And
my
the front
my ring light.
ring light. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
And
got a
the
small ring
light
light
is
on here, and
yeah.
looks. I'm sure you
Yeah,
can see
clear. It's
my
clear, very
face.
clear. It's very clear. The quality is
Mm-hmm.
very good. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
So
somebody was saying, yeah, Hadrian was saying, you guys are being kind, but I guess you don't find out how brave you are until you have no choice but to be brave. But I will say this, it doesn't matter. All of us atheists and humanists are brave.
I I
Thanks,
I
Hadrian.
thank you for saying that because Hadrian, I've spoken to some Muslims. When I try to share my story, they shut me down and say, "Oh, but it's easier for an ex-Christian. If only you know what it is like for us. We fear death. We fear." And I'm thinking, okay, yes, I get that, but don't invalidate my story. Don't
Correct.
invalidate. I was 40 years old, for goodness sake, when I
Mm-hmm.
walked away. It was everything I knew. I knew
Mm,
nothing else. I'm still a work in progress.
yeah.
Right now, I'm still trying to figure out, okay, what kind of sex is good enough for me to have now? Because when I was a Christian woman, the man is only allowed to be on top, and that was it, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
all so now I'm still trying to figure out, oh, can
Yeah.
I think this? Can I do that? Can I
Mhm.
what are the feelings I get when as a Christian woman you
Mm.
couldn't even look at a man and
Man, yeah.
think, gosh, he's gorgeous, right? You can't look at
Mhm.
uh, pictures, you can't look
Your
at
pictures, yeah.
when I say pictures, you all know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like pornography, you can't,
yeah,
feed your eyes and they say you're lusting with your eyes. But you know what? It turns out you can lust
yeah.
every day and just there's nothing there's 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 no such
It's
thing.
no
So
saying.
but what I'm trying to say is you don't realize how religion becomes your
In
life.
life, yeah.
You lose your identity in religion.
It's not only the physical
Mm, mm,
abuse
mm,
or physical danger, it's also the mental restriction, the mental danger, the mental abuse that occurs from religion. So those
mm.
countries where you're not necessarily threatened with death or persecution, quote unquote, it's the shunning,
Yes.
the imposition of religion on trying to impose on everyone that creates a mental struggle, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes mental abuse sometimes can be worse than dying
Mm, mm, mm,
because
mm,
it's
mm,
torture.
mm. Mental abuse can be even worse than physical
Worse.
abuse for some people. For some people, when someone fucks with your head,
Yes.
I've heard people say it's better to just beat me. I know, okay, at least the bruising is here. But when the bruising takes place inside here,
Dear,
mm, mm.
wow. We have a super sticker from
I do. Hadrian.
Adrian.
Oh, thank you.
Ah,
Hadrian Hammond. I
$5.
appreciate that.
Oh yes, thanks,
Thank you very
Adrian.
much. Thank you. That will go to adding some more.
Yeah, yeah, background. I
Yeah, it is
like
nice. I really like
creating
it, but
I
just
yeah,
it looks nicer. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Are you was going to read this here?
Oh yes,
This
Abrahamic
here.
faiths. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Easily distracted. Okay, so historically, the Abrahamic religions have been considered to be Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Some of this is due to the age and the larger size of these three. The other similar religions were seen as either too new to judge as being truly in the same class or too small to be of significance to the category.
Oh,
However, some of the restrictions of the Abrahamic of these Abrahamic of
yeah, yeah.
Abrahamic to these three is due only to tradition in historical classification,
Classification.
therefore restricting, okay, blah, okay, let me go, let's just go straight to it. The first one is the Baha'i faith,
Mm-hmm.
all right? Then there's
Yeah.
the Druze faith, Baha'i, there's
Oh,
Druze,
Druze.
hmm Rastafari,
Right.
Rastafarianism,
Rastafarianism. Yeah,
that's
that
Abrahamic,
is the Abrahamic. Yeah.
uh, Samaritan, Samaritanism,
Samaritanism. Oh, whoa.
Samaritanism. So the Samaritans adhere to the
Oh,
Samaritan Torah, which they believe is the original unchanged Torah, as opposed to the Torah used by the Jews. My goodness. Uh, uh, uh. So, in addition to the Samaritan Torah, the Samaritans revere their version of the book of Joshua and recognize some later biblical figures such as Eli. Mm, mm, mm. There's that one.
mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so origins and history. Christianity began as a
As a
sect
sect.
of
Yeah.
Judaism mm,
Mm-hmm.
in the Mediterranean basin, mm, mm, and it now evolved into a separate religion. Mm.
And Islam arose in the Arabian
Where do you
Peninsula,
see Islam arose in
in
the Arabian
the
Peninsula in the
7th century.
7th century CE with a strictly unitary view of God. Muslims hold everybody has their own version of books.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
has their own version of what they believe. It's amazing. And every single one of them believe they are right. And
Mm-hmm.
the others are wrong.
And they split
Everyone's
into
right.
two main branches, see?
Mm-mm-mm.
And they do have denominations. So,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
Baha'i began with the context of Shia Islam. Oh,
Which one?
Baha'i began
Where is it?
within the context of Shia Islam in 19th century Persia.
Oh, the Baha'i faith began with the context of Shia Islam. Oh, wow. The Baha'i faith stems from the Shia in the 19th century Persia after a merchant named Sayyid Ali Muhammad Shirazi claim divine. Everyone claims divine revelation
all this divine revelation.
and took on the title of the Bab or the Gate. The
Yes.
Bab. Listen, this is interesting because
Mm.
okay, so the Baha'i, they revere also the Torah, the Gospels, and the Quran and the
Yeah,
writings of
yeah.
really. So the Baha'i, they just mix everything up.
They mix those up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I know. Yeah.
Mm. Phil, just give me one quick second. I need to check
Uh-huh.
on.
And Shubi.
Need to. Yeah, need to make sure check on the
Mm-hmm.
boys. How is LA today? Hey, Scapegoat Iscariot says, "How is LA? Godless Owen. Godless Owen. Oh, you joined the Nation of Islam, and it wasn't easy to leave. Oh,
Whoa.
wow. Mm-mm-mm. Wow, I keep hearing about the nation NOI, the Nation of Islam. That's something I would like to do a talk on, but I don't even know
Yeah.
where to begin with the Nation of Islam. Hmm. Are they like a
Yeah.
separate version of Islam, or are they
Um,
just an American form of Islam?
or,
What's the idea with the Nation of Islam? Because they're American. So what's that
mm-hmm.
about? Hmm. Says Scapegoat Iscariot says, I would rather you smack the hell out of me and leave me alone than to fuck with my head. Absolutely.
Mm.
That mental contortion, the mental
Caution. Yeah.
fuckery.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And some people are good at it. Narcissists, they they
Yeah.
they they know what to do to get into
Into you. Mm-hmm.
in there. And once they get in there, it's hard to get them out.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people stay in religions because
Mm-hmm.
the religion has fucked with their head.
Under the head. Yeah.
And
It is.
once you have that mind fuck, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's done. It's as
Yeah.
good as done.
And maybe that's why a lot of them also stay in the relationship, the marriage relationship too,
Mm-hmm.
when they are being abused, stay long or take long to come out because of that. Especially when they're told, "Oh, you're not to divorce unless it's especially a lot of evangelical churches
Mm-hmm.
tell them, no, it's not right to divorce. Stick in there, pray. That's the But all the meantime, your brain is being messed.
Phil, you
So
got
yeah,
school tomorrow? You got school
yeah.
tomorrow?
Now it's 6:45. We can have about 15 more
So
minutes. We
so guys,
can hang out.
did you all know that Phil is a science teacher? Phil 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 teaches
Science
science.
education. Yeah,
Right.
science
Mm.
education. Yeah, that's why I was able to relate to that
Yes,
teacher.
yes. There was a point where both of you were talking. I was just you guys had completely lost me.
Oh,
I
sorry.
failed chemistry, physics. Look, I would sit in them classes, chemistry and physics, and everything just would go
Oh
never got
man.
it. But in biology class, oh, I came alive in biology class. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Ah.
love biology. Oh, I did.
Uh,
I
uh,
absolutely love biology.
uh,
But
yeah.
chemistry,
In
physics,
physics.
film,
Uh,
I was
uh,
absolutely hopeless.
hopeless. Oh man.
Failed.
Yeah, I did biology too. So
You know that when you're in secondary school, you get an introduction. Just at
yeah.
introductory level, I failed. So I didn't bother. I
Oh
didn't
dear.
bother.
Did biology.
Uh, and it's a good job. My younger son, oh, he wants to be a scientist. Nice.
Oh, nice.
He wants to be a
Shubi.
scientist. He loves those kind of things. He loves
Yeah, that's
science,
wonderful.
technology. He loves
Okay.
engineering. He can put
Oh,
he likes putting things together, like finding out how things work.
work.
You know,
Yeah,
he loves
that sounds like
Lego.
me.
Loves
I
his Lego. He likes to
oh,
put his Lego
trying
together
to
and
figure out it.
those
Yeah,
Legos.
I used to pull
Legos.
apart stuff and try to find out how it works.
Legos are the
For
worst.
different
Legos
things.
are the worst things invented ever.
Why? Why?
Fucking things are always everywhere on the floor here.
It's just
When he's done,
I
they're
don't.
all over the place. Have you ever stepped on a Lego before? You ever stepped on
Yes,
Lego
I
piece?
have. Yes, and I know it's not pleasant. Yeah, I used to have Legos
I'll
when I
find
was
you.
younger.
I'll find you a picture. There's one day I came back. Those fucking things were everywhere. I had to
Oh
clean
gosh.
and every single. They're all boxed up now. It's a
Right.
good job for he stopped playing with them. But those Lego, look, and he doesn't know. Please say nothing. I've gotten rid of a few.
Oh,
Shh. Doesn't know.
okay.
Yes, I've gotten rid of a few of his Lego pieces. He's got too many. My goodness.
Oh man, they will have a field day.
If
With those.
Legos are quite expensive.
Yeah, they are. They are. Here they're it's more expensive than they're in UK. Way more expensive. Mm. I love those things. But there are
Mm-hmm.
some older people who love Legos as a hobby to build
Yes.
stuff because you,
Oh
you
yeah.
have
Oh, I've seen some.
you
I've seen
have
some adult
spaceships
Lego
and
pieces,
yeah.
and yeah.
Neil 60480 got a whole Lego thing.
And I insulted Lego. Subscribe now.
Oh gosh.
Ah,
I love Legos.
Lego is good. Don't get me wrong. Look,
Yeah, it's
I
just that
I
you gotta make
insulted
sure they're
Lego.
not all over the
I
place.
buy those Legos for the boy. I
Yeah,
buy them,
but it's
right?
good. It's creative. That helped
Uh,
foster my brothers and I our creativity having Legos
mm.
and building just anything. We would build not what is on the box alone. We would take combine and do all.
Good, this guy. You let go of his. You are not to say anything. It was actually by accident. There were bags
Oh,
of stuff and I threw it away, and then dawned on me
oh,
that there was Legos in one of the bags, and it had gone.
oh gosh.
Nothing I could eat. By this time, it
As
was already in the skip. It was
oh
already in the
goodness.
skip. It's just so, but he has no clue. I'm hoping.
Oh,
I just keep hoping I never get. But mom, where are
there
those
are those.
particular
Mm-hmm.
Lego? It
Mm.
will come one day because he's got a very good memory. So
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Mm, mm,
uh,
mm.
you should have donated the bike to.
I didn't
You
know it
know,
was Lego.
I know.
Lego
You know. I
backpack.
know. I know. I know. I know. I know.
But Phil, I will tell you something. I would
Mm-hmm.
rather my son is playing with Legos than
Yeah.
taking him to church to go and read the Bible.
Correct.
I would
Correct.
rather that
The
than
Legos
them be
foster
indoctrinated.
creativity. It fosters
Exactly.
creativity. And it's good that he has the Legos too together with the games that he play online that he's still not just on the games online but also still doing
Phil,
that creative aspect.
he's autistic, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
he's 13. We had the conversation just recently. I
Mm-hmm.
asked him what he thought about Noah and flood story.
Yeah.
His reply was, "Mom, there's not enough water in the planet to flood the entire earth." That was his answer.
He's on point.
Huh?
He's on point.
13, he's figured it out. He's figured it out. He said,
Yeah.
"Mom, there's not enough water."
To
I didn't
even reach
even
the highest
I didn't even
mountain.
bother to say, how did you not just know? He's probably worked it out somehow. He's probably
Somehow. Yeah.
because he's quite good at math. Phil, all you have to do is just give him a math what you call it,
Problem.
math. He doesn't calculate. He just looks at it, just looks. He can tell you the answer. Hmm.
Mm.
Wish I was
Yeah.
that clever.
Yeah, but usually autistic persons have uh
Mm, not enough
they
water.
some certain things that they that they are, they can focus on and be really good at.
Exactly.
That's it, which is really great.
Mm-hmm.
And if he and that is kind of like, because it's kind of like structure for him, the logical stuff that like that would be, and maybe that's why he loves science too, because of the logical structure. Right, he has some structure rather than it being mayhem. Yeah, because I was reading the side that for autistic children, it is good to create a structured structure for them. It helps keep them focused. So yeah, and maths. Yeah, he's talking my lines, maths and science. I love mathematics. I love science. I actually apply maths to science, the chemistry application of mathematics. I can even apply mathematics to physics too. And actually, in some of my chemistry courses at university, which was mathematical in structure, the formulae, I never sit down and memorize the formulae. I apply the mathematics. I could go in the middle of the formula, work backwards, work forward, just using mathematics. So
Exactly.
I never sit down and study a form
Mm-hmm.
and memorize formula steps. I prefer to apply the mathematics, and I got through with that really well. I love solving problems.
Fantastic.
I think
Fantastic.
does he like solving certain puzzles or so?
He used to like solving puzzles, but recently he
Mm-hmm.
just not keen on puzzles.
Okay.
I buy puzzles, but lately
Yeah, and when I say puzzles,
not
not the
interested.
jigsaw, not necessarily
Mm,
jigsaw. I meant like certain activities that involve
Yeah, recently
solving.
he's not been into. He's
Okay.
very, very much into his Nintendo Switch.
Switch.
The what do you call it? It's a Switch. It's a new one. I don't know what they call it.
Oh, that
Um,
one attaches the TV
I don't even
or
know
does
if it does.
oh the Nintendo Switch.
It's got an like an LCD screen. It's so nice.
Okay.
I
Right.
don't
Oh, it's
know.
a hell game. Yeah. The Nintendo
Nintendo
Switch
Switch
is
something. Just
a
a
held
thing.
screen. It's a double screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
On one
Okay.
half and
So
another on the
someone in chat wants a link. So if anyone wants to join, right, Phil, you're
other.
not, you
Uh-huh.
haven't got long. So guys, we're not stopping long because it's Monday
Right.
morning tomorrow,
Yeah.
and yes. But anyone wants to join? I just received
Yeah.
a message saying drop the link. So here we
Yeah.
go. And guys, I would like to hear your deconversion stories. Um, why I would like to hear your stories is this is about everyday people. This is not about we haven't got to be
Right.
popular. We haven't got to be famous.
Popular.
We haven't got to
Correct.
be these, big named
It's
people.
right.
It's the
It's
everyday people.
it's
For me, you
normalizing
know,
the
Phil,
mm-hmm.
religion in the hands of the everyday people, that's where the problem is. The
Yeah.
man at home,
Mm-hmm.
right? Poor man, poor
Yeah.
poor family, um, you know, um, and he is
Mm-hmm.
using this religion to control
Yeah.
his missus at home. These kind of things. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's about the everyday people, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what matters to me. Hey, we've
Yeah.
got someone.
Well, I was like,
Here with
yeah.
us.
Hi, Dark
Hey,
Voices. Welcome.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi.
Oh, we are
Oh,
great.
wow.
What about you?
Oh,
uh,
that
um,
voice.
Stop it. I'm doing pretty good. um,
Ah,
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
We're
yeah,
good,
we really
thanks.
good.
Is my
Had a really good time.
microphone okay? Is
You're
it too
clear.
low? Okay.
No, it's great.
Okay. So, deconversion stories.
Mm,
Um, Actually, I had told Esther one time about it, but
Hmm.
for the people that don't know, so basically, I grew up in a fundamentalist religious cult,
Mm.
and it wasn't like a tiny cult. There was tens of thousands of members,
Oh,
and members all over the world. Actually, and some in Europe and the UK too.
oh, wow.
I wonder if Danny was in the Caribbean.
It's very possible. The reason I kind of know about the best way I could explain it is very similar to the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Ah,
The
Oh,
So it was heavily based on the Old Testament, but it was multiracial.
one second. Let me check on my boy quickly.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, you just
Okay.
Just carry on.
huh?
Carry on with your story. Let me
Oh,
just check
Carry
okay.
on my.
on. Carry on.
Oh, okay. So it was a multiracial racial, and definitely it was predominantly white. I'm black,
Oh, okay.
and they follow Old Testament laws, and
Ah,
I've kind of noticed that with cults, Old Testament is very good for command and control.
command and
Uh,
control. Yeah.
so they followed that, and they followed the Old Testament holy days and all of that. So that's why
Oh.
I'm kind. It's very similar to Black Hebrew Israelites, but
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mind talking about all of this. But one thing I don't, I've just never named the actual group.
Group.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel I don't want to give them any oxygen. But
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't just like a little small organization. We're talking about a big organization, thousands of
Mm.
members, tens of millions of dollars of revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, we're talking about the Jets, the whole thing.
Whoa.
College campus,
Wow.
a rather big college campus, and you know, I grew up in this.
So they used to keep the Sabbath.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's not. Most people think well, Jehovah Witness or Seventh Day Adventist, and it wasn't.
No,
But
I don't think the Jehovah Witness do Saturday. I know the Seventh Day
it's
Adventist does.
yeah.
They are not just Old Testament. They hold to the New Testament. It's just
Oh,
the
okay.
Seventh Day Adventists hold on to certain aspects
Yeah.
of the Old Testament, but
Yeah.
the
So our
Sabbath
Sabbath was
is
Friday sundown to
yeah.
Saturday sundown,
Uh-huh.
and basically we would go to church on Saturdays.
Right.
It was
It wasn't
it
similar to Seventh Day Baptist because well, there's Seventh Day Adventist, Seventh Day Baptist.
yeah it was so it wasn't 7 Day Adventist, so it was
No, I
dissimilar
said
from that.
that
Yeah.
right, yeah. But there's
Right.
also Seventh Day Baptist, which is not the same
Oh.
as Seventh Day Adventist.
Oh. And
Yeah.
and so I grew up in this, and what I tell people, I
Hmm.
like, yes, it was definitely a cult.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And it wasn't the happy-go-lucky cult. Some people did die.
Oh
Wow.
no.
Wow.
Uh, Indirectly, my sister. But
Oh man, so sorry.
yeah, through their teachings of you don't go to the doctor, you
Mm.
pray,
Oh,
you lay on
oh,
hands, holy
oh,
oil. Yeah, yeah.
uh-huh.
So while at the same time, the leader, you find out in retrospect, was flying around the country to the best doctors and getting treatment.
Mm.
That's the usual.
Yeah, yeah, the usual thing.
Jeez, no.
Financial burdens was,
Mm.
of course, the 10%, but it was also basically from what I didn't know because I was a child at the time. you basically was tithing about 30% of your income.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a 10%, but then it was other tithes on top of it. And so
Whoa.
a lot of families, so very big on shunning.
Mm.
Yeah, very big on shunning people out the church or out your family.
Mm.
A lot of marriages were destroyed.
So they accepted the New Testament partly.
Yes. Yes, they did, partly. Yeah, they accepted it. But like I say, Passover, the
Mm.
tabernacles, all those Old
Right,
Testament
right.
things,
Because
you know how it is. They pick and
so
choose
they
what
will
they want to
say
follow.
they see what Jesus will said. He came not to destroy the law and the prophets.
Right. They felt that old school law, Old Testament was still effect, but they pick
Yeah,
and choose what
yeah,
to what
you
to
true.
what to
You true.
what to follow. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I I just never believed it. I was
Mm.
always the kid when people had their heads down praying. I was looking around the room, looking
Mm-hmm.
at them.
It's like my boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to see what was going on with these people. Um,
Mm.
I it just never made sense. And I remember one time I asked my mother, if you were really good, would you still go to heaven? And she said, if you don't go to our church, you will still go to hell. And
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
yeah. And
Mm-mm.
so in
You
my
don't go to our
brain,
church.
yeah.
Mm.
And so I was a kid, so I knew our church was really big, different all over, different cities, different states. They would have
Yeah.
meetings where people would come for the holy days and they would rent arenas. I mean,
Mm-mm.
so it was a lot of people
Wow.
and it would last for 7 days. And they would have service every day and they would pack the arena out. So that didn't sit right with me because I literally, in my brain, my child brain, it was like, if you just didn't happen to find this church, you're going to hell. And I just
Can you
didn't
imagine?
think a God, it didn't make any sense. I like, God would have to know that a lot of people would not know about this.
Mm-mm.
And all of those people are going to hell. And it never made sense. And it was difficult. I had a difficult childhood. I'm sure people had many a lot tougher. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this until years later. I was in my 20s when I found out I had an exorcism performed on me.
Oh
Whoa.
wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Oh,
my mother was telling me, and I
wow.
remembered. So I totally remembered the event. But I didn't realize what was going on. I was probably about 11 or 12 years old, and I was a very introverted kid, and also I just wanted to be left alone.
Okay,
And
Robert X, good night. Okay,
and
hang on. Hang on, Robert X. Robert X says it's midnight. Robert X, I thought you were in the UK. The clock has gone forward. No, backwards.
It's
The
gone
clock,
backwards already?
yeah, yeah, our clock went backwards last night.
Oh,
So we are
so it
now
is
1 hour
4 hours.
behind.
Oh, so it's now 11 o'clock
It's
there.
now it's now just gone past 11, 6 past 11.
Oh, okay. I thought it right. Okay,
I thought
good.
it was
So
past midnight.
at least now I remember that you know 4 hours instead of five.
Yes. Oh, is it just 4 hours between us now, Phil?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so when we're trying to sort these streams out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hello,
Godless
hello.
Hi, God,
Owen.
let's go
Hey.
in.
How is everyone? How is
all right,
everyone?
all right.
Very
We're
nice
good.
to meet you, Phil. Dark
Nice to meet
Voices as
you
well.
too.
Very nice to meet you.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey,
Well,
boy,
thank you.
man.
Well,
Good,
well.
good, good.
So you were saying, that voices, that you had an
Exorcism.
exorcism
Yeah,
performed on you. For what
yeah.
reason? Do you know?
Like I say, I was a very much an introvert, and I would stay in my room, and my mother would say, "You have to go out. You can't stay in your room. You're gonna be an introvert." So I started leaving home, especially in the summer and in the morning, and I would just like go to the woods or whatever, and I wouldn't come back home for a day or so. And
Mm-mm-mm.
and I just didn't like people messing with me basically. And I had brothers. I just wanted to do my own thing and be left alone. So and I like I say I found this out years afterwards. So my mother was talking to me, and she was basically she gave me a backhanded compliment. She said she didn't realize it, but I did. That she said I'm proud of you. We thought you was going to turn out really bad, and so I like okay, I get it,
Mm-mm.
whatever. But and so she was like, and because you had a temper, you didn't like being around people. And she was like, "Well, you remember when the pastor came and he was talking about you about demons and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, they were performing an exorcist to see if you had a demon in you." And I was like, "What?" And she was like,
What?
"Yeah." And I was like, he was sweating. I remember he was sweating and he was
Wow.
asking me all of these questions. And then it hit me and I busted out laughing. And she was like, "What?" I was like, "My brothers told you I was possessed, right?" And she's like,
Okay.
"Yeah, they were concerned." I'm like, "No, they're assholes." And so I was like, "They were concerned."
How
And
can
so
you
No,
even
they were not.
how can you even test for something like that?
it was weird,
Where is the
dude.
line on the demon test?
Dude was asking me. He was like, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Do you know?" And he had holy oils and stuff. And so I had no clue. Apparently, I passed the test. And if I would have known back then, I think I might have done something wild just to freak him out because that dude was sweating.
Oh, oh,
but,
Well, I
but
was I was raised hardcore Roman Catholic, and no one ever did anything like that. It was just hours of
bro.
church. It
wow.
was just hours of
It
Amazing.
was it was
yikes.
something it was something
That,
else. Like I said, I found that out years after the fact, but
yeah.
I never believed, I never accepted. I left home right before I was 16 and
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
cut all ties. I didn't speak to my family until I was 22. Not one
Wow.
time. Nobody.
Mm-mm.
And during those years, it was hard times and good times, and
I
I was
bet it was.
homeless and stuff for a
Yeah.
little bit, and
You know what's funny?
just
Dark Voices. I almost have the same story. Do you think that was a good thing in your life? Because I look back, and I come from a very like bougie, stuck up family,
hmm
and it
Mm.
really taught me perspective in life. You know what I'm
hmm
Mm.
saying? Like it taught me to take a step back and look at the situation instead of projecting myself on a situation. You
So,
know?
do you think that what was helped me with perspective? You talking about leaving home,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Far as like for
Mm.
me, I'm a survivor.
Mm.
You put me in any situation, you drop me off in, well, at least in North America, in any city, any town, I'll have 2, 3 jobs within 2 weeks. I'll have a car
Wow.
and a place to live within a month and a half. I will grind it out.
Mm.
I'll sleep in a car. I'll rent a storage building to sleep in it. All of that
Mm-hmm.
shit don't matter. I'm gonna make it. And just the way I look at it, there's no backup. There's no family to call. There's no, I have very few close friends, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's different now because I have somebody I'm responsible for, and
Mm-hmm.
that changed the
Yeah.
perspective. That
Mm-hmm.
if something happens to you, who's going to take care of them? So
Them, yeah.
that's
I
that's a
agree
lot
with you.
harder.
That's what got me
Yeah.
to start my YouTube channel because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Mm-hmm.
sitting at the house hanging out with my son.
Mm-hmm.
It's something positive.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. And
Mm-hmm.
and for me, for myself, it's about community. This means a lot to
Mm-hmm.
me because apart from my two boys, there's really not a lot of people around me who are unbelievers.
Yeah.
They don't they all believe. And as far as they're
Mm-hmm.
concerned, there's something wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
There must be this all of this is
Mm,
the devil has got me. The
yeah,
devil has got
yeah, the
me very
usual.
firm in his grip, and they're terrified. These people are terrified that I'm going to hellfire. I'm playing with my afterlife, right?
Do you know
It,
almost? Oh,
Right.
sorry.
the whole hellfire thing was the last stage of my deconversion. I was
Mm,
terrified of hell. I
right.
That place scared the shit out of me. I remained a Christian because of that place called
Wow.
hellfire.
Mm, mm,
Do you know the
So
yeah.
movie Event Horizon scared the hell out
Oh
of me?
yeah.
Because hell was in a different dimension. I remember sitting in that movie and being like, I hope none of this is true. I hope I was much younger, But I
Yeah.
agree with you. The threat of hell is what kept
It's
me
yeah.
near religion because I grew up in a I'm from the suburbs. I grew up in a very loose Catholic church where people didn't get dressed up. It was all about the doctrine. It was
Mm,
they didn't it it's hard to explain. Like I went to other churches and people are wearing suits and ties. The church I grew up in Southern California, people are wearing like swimming trunks and a
whoa.
t-shirt. It's really informal.
Right.
swimming trunks. Ooh.
But
Whoa.
when I got
Mm-mm-mm.
older, I joined the NLY, and that is the definition of structure. It's like, you know, it's military almost how they run it.
Whoa.
For me, the last few years has been very shocking to see how religious the US is. Um, you know,
Oh,
when I relocated from Africa, right,
Mm-hmm.
to the UK, they I heard people say things like, "Oh, at least the UK is religious. At least the UK is a Christian, unlike the US." Right, the US, oh, they are more right. The UK people, yeah, they're more out there. They're more secular, but at least they're better than the people in the US, because abortion was legal in the Americas. People in America just will get on just with everything. That's the perception you
That
have of
perception
the
is so
US.
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
In
I was about to
Africa,
say,
in Africa, right? You
Yeah.
see people in Africa, they've never been to the US a day in their lives, but they
Mm-hmm.
speak full American
Yeah.
because they've watched my have you heard my 13-year-old autistic son speak? He speaks with an American accent, has never been to the US, right? So, well, for him, it's his autism.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
his. But I'm just saying,
We identify.
there's a love for the American culture, the American
Mm-hmm.
style. They want to dress like the American, want to be like the American. Look, when Donald Trump was doing whatever he was doing, there were people in in Africa that were, well, they were campaigning.
Yeah.
These people will get their churches out on a Sunday. Everyone, look, they fed off everything that came out of Donald Trump's mouth. There were people
Yeah.
that were
you
convinced, they were giving all these things, that he's going to be the next president, he's going to do this. They gave
well,
prophecies, they did all these things.
Afrohumanist, you're probably aware, but for about probably I believe about 30 years, it has been an organized effort and a
Yeah.
mission of
mhm.
Southern Christian evangelicals to
Mm-hmm.
proselytize to Africa.
Yeah.
This is organized propaganda to go there and to convert Africans to this extremist, and they are extremists, this
Mm-hmm.
extremist form of Christianity. This
Also
is a
the
organized thing.
Also, the UK as well. In the early 2000s, American evangelicals flooded the UK
Hmm.
because I started hearing our propaganda coming from the UK, and I'm like, wait a
Right.
minute,
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
that's what
Yeah.
Wow.
Americans
You
say,
feel no, I tell you, I
Yeah.
tell you, I tell you the shift. Let me tell you the shift, what's happening. Right. This is what I've noticed. And that is, so the colonizers came to the in to Africa.
Africa,
They
right?
colonized, right? And then
Uh-huh.
along with colonization came Christianity. Now the colonizers have been, you said, look, you guys bugger off. We want freedom from you people. Now they've gone along back to where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
The damage they've done is all there. And then now these people have this religion in their hands, not sure what to do with it. They've somehow mixed it up with culture, mixed it up with all sorts of things, but they live a life where the economy is horrendous because they have horrible leaders. They have leaders that care only about their pockets. So now what you're getting is a lot of these people who are religious, who have somehow taken on this religion from the colonizers. What they're doing now, they're relocating. They're relocating from Africa. They're going to the UK. They're going to the US and taking that
Mm-hmm.
religion with them, right?
Yeah.
Now the missionaries are going this way back to America, right? You see
Mm-hmm.
churches, the African churches are starting to open up in all these
Places.
countries because
Yeah.
now the Africans believe they have the right version of the whole Christianity thing.
Christianity.
They're the ones with the right version of the doctrines. The Americans have abandoned it. The Americans are more about, I don't know what else.
Propaganda.
So
Propaganda works.
it's shifting. It's a mess.
Well, I live
Yep.
and work in the south of southern states of America, and I can tell you this: if you don't think it's religion around here, it's a lot. And even in my town, I went exploring just different areas at one point in time, just kind of riding around, checking just different cities and stuff. And I got to some areas where, there's literally a church on every corner,
Mm.
but also you can't find a grocery store, a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
none of
Whoa.
those buildings.
Los Angeles is the
Where
Whoa.
where
Yeah.
you on about? Where? What part?
I'm in North Carolina.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm in North
Wow.
Carolina.
Los Angeles is the same
Wow.
way. Liquor store on every corner, church
Yeah.
on every corner. No,
Yeah.
bro. They just got a
Wow.
Whole Foods in the hood, like just.
Yeah, they're called food
Wow.
deserts. So you can live in the city and there's no grocery store anywhere around you.
Wow.
But there's church, and like I said, all my coworkers now. For me,
Mm-hmm.
is different. I don't. All my coworkers are Christian, and pretty much everybody I encounter are religious on some level. I have no problem letting know people I'm an atheist. Is something I don't normally bring up unless they're pushing something towards me. I don't feel like I need to tell everybody, but it's not a secret, and
Nice.
it's a weird thing. It's constantly in your face. It's constantly,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get tired of it, but and I'm a person. I don't think all Christians are evil or anything like that. I came out of a Christian family. Most of them were pretty decent people. So I don't look at it like that. But it's in your face. If they believe America is not religious, they need to come on over here and check it out, man. You can't. It's just. I was telling a very good friend of mine, I believe yesterday, a lovely lady, very lovely lady, about in my job, I do a lot of driving. A lot of driving. We're talking about 400 miles a day. And my job is not to drive. That's me going from job site to job site to job site.
Wow.
So my job is technically not a driver. But so what I do in my truck, I keep a jack. I keep water, I keep some snacks, I keep some toys. Because when I'm not that busy, lots of times I'll pass people on the road for flat tire. And if I got time, I'll pull up, boom, I got the tools, I can change the tire for them real quick. Especially somebody, they're going to work, they're out there, they're trying to deal. And most of the time, or lots of times, people say, God bless you, God bless you. And I just tell them, hey, you just have a better day. That's normally what I tell. And get in my truck and go on down the road. But it was one time I pulled over and I changed the lady's tire and she just wouldn't stop. Oh, praise Jesus. Thank the Lord. Blah, 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 blah. And she's
Boy.
just going in. And it was just I was on my way home after a 14-hour day. And she's going in and I changed the tire. And I said, I'm an atheist, but but I'm sure one of these Christians that's passed you would have stopped eventually.
Yeah.
True, it's true. Look,
I mean,
I bet every person that passed her was a Christian. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I was just a little short tempered and fed up. I was just like, after
Yeah.
about the 12th, praise Jesus, thank God, and then
Yeah, sometimes it's have to do that to normalize, because then they think that, oh, this is God, so, but it's about normalizing and saying, look, I'm the atheist and I'm doing good things,
That's
yeah,
right.
and
because not
Right.
because of God told me to.
not because God told me. I did. Like I say, I pulled up and people had kids. I give them water. I keep a couple of the stuffed toys and stuff to give to the
Oh,
kids, and it
that's
can be
nice.
stressful to be on the side of the road
Oh,
and
I can
cars
imagine.
whizzing by. So I
I've got for
Yeah.
that very reason, I've got breakdown cover. Right. So any part of the
Uh,
your
you
mic
get-
is glitching out.
That's
Oh, sorry,
you're
sorry.
you're glitching out your mic.
I'm sorry, my mic is glitching.
Yeah, it's clicking
Yeah,
real bad.
yeah.
Read it. Oh, okay. I don't know
Hey,
You
hold
why.
on.
sound perfect.
I haven't touched
I think
anything.
you're
Whatever
good
you
now.
did. Do you know where I live in
Okay,
Southern
cable.
California?
I was saying that for that reason, I've got breakdown cover.
Right.
So if I break down, and because let me tell you, I drive, right? I drive the car, but if I open the bonnet, I couldn't tell you what's what.
Okay.
I know
Well,
where
I
to fill water. I know where to fill. My son does that for me now, but I couldn't tell you what's happening. I couldn't change a tire. I couldn't do nothing. I just
got
drive,
breakdown coverage,
right?
but I drive old cars. That's why, if I had new cars, I probably wouldn't have it.
See, I have a flex. I
So
couldn't fix that thing. My truck, if that thing exploded on me, I could have it back together in 15 minutes.
Right.
My old
Oh,
truck, yeah.
how do you do that?
Well,
It's
it's
an
an
old
How
old.
do you
I
truck.
do
have
that?
it.
Yeah.
It's a 1988 Ford F-150.
You can reach
So
on everything you need to work
yeah,
on. You can touch it. You can see it and touch
exactly.
it.
I can
New
get
cars,
underneath
no.
it.
Yeah.
the new ones are more electronic.
You know
Yeah.
where I live in Southern California.
Mine is an old
Oh, you're
car, but I've got
You're
rubbing
breakdown.
glitching again. Check your cable.
Hey,
Check your cable.
Yeah.
So to go
You're,
off what you were saying,
hey,
Dark Voices,
I
Check
don't
the
know.
cable. Make
I
sure
live
it's
in
plugged in
California and
properly.
people are religious, but they're not outwardly they're not out about it. You know.
oh,
Right.
So the one thing I
Oh.
appreciate is that people mind their own business. You know.
you know what? That would be. That's to me ultimately. Just on the surface level, that's a good thing. Hey, if you're religious or not, fine. I don't want to hear about your Lord and Savior. I'm just trying to get me a soda. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm not trying to tell you about atheism. I'm just trying to get a soda.
You know what? Sometimes though, I feel like I ask for it because I wear patches. My pops was a biker. I have a bike, so I have a patch that says "We all believe in lies." Every time I've worn it recently, somebody starts screaming Romans at me. It's the weirdest thing.
What?
And I'm telling you, I live in Southern
What
California.
part of Romans? What Romans?
Oh, they started
Which of the
Romans chapter 1. They started this one dude. I swore I saw him on TV, but he was like Romans chapter 1, and I turned to him. I said,
What?
"Bruh, we're literally at the dollar store.
Wow.
Like I came here for
Romans,
cheap
Romans,
sewing supplies and soda, bro."
is it not Romans that talks about faith? Faith is
Yeah.
the
Substance
evidence
of
of things,
no, that's
the
Hebrews
substance
11.
of things
No,
hoped
that's
for,
Hebrews.
the evidence
The
of things
weirdest.
not seen. The
That's
fuck?
Hebrews. That's
It-
Hebrews 11.
Part of me
Well,
is
God,
like, I'm not gonna wear this, and then the other part of me is like, nah, man, we have to wear this.
well, God, let's check this out. On my work gear, safety vests, hard hats, shirts. I have a
Please,
silk
can I
screener.
can I interrupt, please?
Yeah,
Can I interrupt?
yeah.
While we're here, these three gentlemen here have YouTube channels, and I would love for you all to please subscribe to them.
Oh, thank
Right?
you.
Let's build our community
Yeah.
of atheists. We're all black atheists here, and it's fantastic. And
Mm-hmm.
that little
Whoa, hold
one
on.
subscriber, 2 subscribers, 3 subscribers do count. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
put, while we're talking, put the links in the channel.
Hold on a
Let's,
second.
uh,
God, let's sew it. Are you black?
Yes, I.
I know it wasn't a joke.
No,
it was
no,
a
I-
joke.
Godless sewing,
My
Godless
father-
sewing. Godless Sowing, when I look at him, he has a very interesting mix.
My dad used to call me rent to
There
ethnic.
you go. Look at that.
My pops is
Look at
from
look at
Savannah,
look
Georgia,
at
in the
look at
Yeah.
Tamacraw
look at
Village.
that fine species. Wait, hang on. We need to look at that properly. Hang on. Look at that fine species of a man. Look at
Thank you.
Yeah.
oh,
Thank
look
you.
at that. Oh,
Yeah.
Usually my chins I'll be here, but I've been growing my
and
villain
he
goatee.
sews as well. All those things behind you is all
I
done by
thought it
you.
was a Vato for a second.
Mm,
That was
You
like,
know what? You know what's it tricks
mm.
people though, because I speak Spanish fluently.
oh,
So
okay.
it throws
Ooh.
people off. But I'm from Southern
Alright.
California. Like if
Uh,
you don't speak a second
Right.
language, like
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you something and see if you get it. These two at the top won't have any idea.
Oh
What you know?
God.
oh, that's my son.
Okay.
He's the exact same age as Esther's son. He has autism as well.
Okay.
He's the exact
I'm
same.
gonna ask you a
Oh.
question, and how you answer is probably going to tell me something about you, and it'll tell you something about me. What do you know about pumps and dumps?
Oh God. What is
So
And dumps.
are we talking about a trailer or my ex-girlfriend?
Oh my God, no.
What are we
No.
talking about?
Oh God. What are you guys talking
That's
about?
wrong. That's
I'm
wrong.
giving you a hard time.
What are you
I'm
guys
just kidding.
talking about?
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh my God.
I'm a extreme West Coast American. I've actually been to the UK more than I've been to the East Coast.
So you what you know about lowrider culture?
Oh, that's a little bit different. What you need to know.
I'm a lowrider for life.
Me and you
And
get
you're
lost here now.
Because I'm a rent-a ethnic, and you know I'm welcome in all neighborhoods.
Yeah,
I speak
yeah. I'm
Spanish. I speak.
I just wanted to. Yeah, I'm a lowrider for life, and I figure you might be, but I also think you might be in car culture, bike culture a little bit.
I'll tell you the truth. I am, but like I'm in my 40s, and I just got tired. I've spent my whole life working on cars and bikes.
Well,
You're
and
in,
listen,
you're in
one
your
day I was
40s?
like,
Wait, hang on. That man is in his 40s.
it's the California bud. Yeah, that's
That
what
man
it
is in his
Wow.
40s.
yeah, I'm in my 40s, and
Oh my God.
one day I was like, I just got tired of, you know, the money's good. Like if you know how to fix a car up, like you can get paid. But I got tired of it.
I did
Oh.
auto body and paint for almost 20 years. I had my
Whoa.
own shop, but I'm on the East Coast, and so I was into lowriders before I ever saw a lowrider in person. I built my first lowrider. I was
grew
just
up around-
into it.
My pops was a Vietnam veteran, so I grew up around a lot of like black bikers, and so I
Oh.
had a lot of they. In a weird way, they're a really positive influence.
Mm.
There was no shade when 100 years ago I got dropped off at my first Pride when I was 17 years old by 30 bikers, and no one talked to me for like 20 minutes too, because they were scared as hell. Like, who is this kid? You know?
Yeah. But I was just curious. I didn't mean to derail the conversation.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. No, all the time
That's
people think I'm from Iran. People,
Wow.
a woman from India walked up to me one day, and this was when I was much younger, and she's like, "You're a disgrace because you've allowed yourself to become Americanized." And I looked at her and I said, "Yes, I am." I was a kid. I was like 20 years old. I didn't know what to say.
Well, see, that's the thing about American ignorance. Like, so my ex was from Malaysia, and so she looks Latino. We're talking about dark skin, long dark hair, because she is
From
what you would say
Philippines?
native
Malaysia,
native Malaysian. She's tribal Malaysian.
yeah.
What
They
it was
do
just called
Latino.
right.
You know,
So she's
I'm quoting Paul Mooney, but like, you know, there's a lot of races that don't consider themselves black, but look at a Hawaiian, look at someone who's from Australia, like,
Polynesian,
you know,
Aborigine.
And so
Negro. That's what it is.
people
You know?
would get mad at her. They would she looked Latino, and so they would speak to her in Spanish. She said, "I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish," and they look at her like, "Oh, you're American." And she's like, "I speak three languages. It's just Spanish is not one. I'm
Can
not
Whoa.
can
Spanish."
I ask you guys a question, please?
Uh huh. Sure.
I need to ask about Kanye West.
Ugh.
Uh huh.
That man is about to throw everything away
Yeah.
because of this belief that um do you think he is in a cult? Do you
No.
think he's involved?
No.
I think he's involved with some people who are in his ears telling him about um the black
Mm.
people are going to
No.
one day take
He,
over.
I
There's
I
something. There
I'll
is
tell
some.
you
No,
what.
no,
Nah.
no.
Nah.
I have an
This
opinion as well because I
isn't.
work
Okay.
with mentally
isn't-
disabled
Let's
adults.
go by one. Let's
Yeah,
go by
yeah.
let's do Esther. We do
Kanye's
Phil.
trouble.
We do
Yeah.
Godless, and then we'll get to me. What's your
Mhm.
I'll say this really quick. Uh, I've worked with an organization my whole life because of my parents. I've been around mentally disabled adults
Mhm.
from what you would consider like the lowest functioning to people like my son, who people are all the time like, I can't tell he has autism. Like, of course you can't. But Kanye West is mentally ill. You can
Mhm.
see when he's speaking, he has a
Mm,
1,000-yard
mm.
stare. He
A
can't control.
rich and mentally ill.
When I heard he was going in again, and I clicked on it last night, and his voice was shaking, and
Mm, mm,
he was trembling, and
No.
I'm like,
Oh.
that's mental illness. That is not.
mm,
He's not
mm.
a fit man. Like I said, I'll say this really quick. I'm
Okay.
former NLY. Man, you can be convinced of anything if you get enough friends and people that like you. You can be
Yeah.
convinced
Yeah.
of anything.
Mhm.
So no,
What about you,
Kanye West
Phil?
lost his damn. What's that?
I don't know. I don't know if yes. I all I know is that his things are very expensive. Whatever he sells,
They're rubbish. They're rubbish.
very
All
yeah.
right.
They're rubbish.
Things that
This is my opinion about Kanye West. Um, and it's very similar to Godless Scum. Sewing.
We have got this
Um,
someone just come
yeah,
here as well.
I know Scummer. I
exactly.
love Jeff. I love Jeff.
yeah.
He's clearly mentally ill. He's diagnosed with mental illness. He is not managing it. He's not medicated. He's not medicated. Because you have a lot of money, it can be harder to get treatment because you got a lot of yes men that's not going to
Mhm.
protest anything that you say, or you could just replace them. Is he a black Hebrew Israelite? Any of that? No. In his manic state, he is latching on to any bits and pieces and just throwing them together in a pot. He knows
Oh.
just very little. I don't think he really knows Hebrew Israelite tenets.
I
But he
disagree.
did grow up in Chicago, which is a stronghold of Hebrew Israelites. He would have been aware of them when he was a child and decades ago. So all of these things is just he's just pulling stuff in conspiracies, and so he is
Mm.
definitely mentally ill. But the thing is, he can throw everything away. He can completely destroy his career, and he will be worth way more money than all four is put together for
Yep.
the next 5
Yeah.
generations.
I say that
Yeah.
So
all
I
the
don't
time.
feel too bad for him. He'll be all right. He will be
Exactly.
okay.
But then, hang on,
Exactly.
guys. Hang on. Don't forget the other people just like him. Nick Cannon, right?
hmm
Nick Cannon.
He's
He
more
even
deeper into
came with the
Israelites.
turban. He came with, wearing the. He clearly is in.
Well, he's been rocking turban, but see, as you got to understand the culture. Andre 3000 from Outkast
Oh,
been
yeah,
rocking
yeah.
turbans, and he
I'll
wasn't
rock
an
one.
Israelite. Yeah,
I'll wear one. I'm an atheist. I like the
yeah,
style.
Nice.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Especially
so
with my villain goatee. Like,
yeah, Nick
No, 'cause
Cannon put.
no. What we in Nick Cannon's case? Remember when he was saying anti-Semitic things
Mhm.
online, and
oh
he
yeah,
got
Oh.
pulled
Yeah,
over. Well,
oh yeah.
he as well
he's
has
he's a little bit
got
different. I would say Nick
anti-Semitic stuff.
Cannon is more into would be. Listen, over here, people they'll pick up bits and pieces what sounds good, what fits them.
Mm-hmm.
Amongst the black community, for very good reasons, people are looking for a connection into
Yes.
history and
Yes.
of
Mm, mm,
importance. And they don't
Mm.
look to the actual figures, the greatest
yes.
figures of humanity that are black. They look to these
Mm-hmm.
religious people.
Yep.
And I mean, come on. I mean, I told Esther the other day what make she talking about Kanye. I like basically what makes you an anti-Semite. If you take all the things that the Jewish faith teaches and you direct it at Jewish people and you're not a Jew, that makes you an anti-Semite. So
Right.
all the
Mm.
racism, the bigotry, the genocide that's in the Bible that they believe in and that they practice,
Mm, mm.
long as it's directed at other people, it's fine. If you direct it back, and I'm not saying you should be all those things, I'm saying it's wrong. But they really get offended when if you say these crazy things towards them. But they have no
Mm-hmm.
problem telling non-believers, yeah, this is going to happen, and yeah, it was okay to flood the earth, and yeah, it's okay to do
Mm.
this and that. And God of the Bible is definitely bigoted and racist. That's,
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
I
Yeah.
mean,
mm,
Definitely.
mhm.
it's so that's to me, it's I find that interesting. I think Kanye has said just as worse things or just as bad things about black people in the black community, and there's no outrage about that.
But he's also getting
Mhm.
caught up
No.
in propaganda. I did as well, but I was like 15 years old.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, there has to be a cutoff where you're like, no, you're not learning.
but he's
You're getting
mentally ill,
it true.
so
True.
that's the
And
catch.
and I just looking at this comment here, the fat ass of his Kardashian mutt. Um, I don't know. The Kardashian family, as far as I'm concerned, are a mess.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
I,
don't watch all of that
I'm from
shenanigans.
LA, so I
And
respect money, but they are
Mm,
crazy. They're
yes,
crazy, but
they're
they're
crazy
billionaires.
people.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
Did y'all know Kim
Mm.
Kardashian is
Kim
like
just bought a
5'3"?
place. Kim,
yes.
so you're
Did
saying
y'all?
Kim Kardashian is shorter than myself? I'm 5 foot
She's
four.
like, look it up. She is short. You would never know that
Most
How
people
tall?
from.
How tall are all of you, by the way? Because sometimes you look at
Mm,
people, you can't really tell.
I am
ah,
5'9".
ah.
Oh, you're
Oh,
five
I am
nine.
around
Okay.
that. I am around that, about 5'8", 5'9".
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I'm good.
Hmm.
I'm around that.
What,
That's
5'8",
average.
five
Oh,
nine?
It's literally
A
average
little
height
bit
around the
taller.
world.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
six
average.
foot?
okay.
That voice is, are you 6 foot or what?
Mm. I'm about. I'm not as big as my voice.
So how tall are you? Just come on, be truthful. Just
I
Ah,
I hate
wish.
Oh,
I
I
hate it when people
understand
I hate
that.
it when people are
Ooh.
being very
dude.
Coy.
just yeah, exactly. Just
Oh
say it
no.
and be done with it.
You,
How
you you
tall are
so
you?
you are so impatient. That's why we wind you up all the time. Only thing,
How tall are
only
you?
thing you have to say is, "Don't Google it, Esther," and she's
How
off.
tall? How tall are you? Because now you remind me of G-Man. G-Man is one person
Oh
doesn't like
gosh.
people talking about how tall he is.
Ah,
Oh,
They've made fun of him, call him short, but he hates
sure.
it. He
Oh
he
absolutely
hates it.
gosh.
It
hates
gets under
You
his
know what though?
skin.
I feel short. I live in the land of giants. Everybody in LA is tall. Like,
Listen,
you know, depending.
I'm 5'4", but I
Mm.
think I've shrunk, right?
You've
Because
shrunk.
when you no, yeah, when you grow older, you
Yeah,
do shrink.
you're
You
curvy and
Yeah,
shrink
a
when
fat.
you grow
bit.
older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've shrunk.
Uh,
I've
Yeah,
shrunk a
but
bit.
my mom shrunk, but she's almost 80.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
Esther,
So
you're
that
getting
means
a
there's
head
more
start.
shrinkage. That means there's more
oh
shrinkage to
my
come.
gosh.
I think the shrinkage
Oh
that
boy.
happens with women is not nearly as it happens with men. It's a lot worse for men.
You can't
We
have
think about shrinkage, we're not happy.
you can't have jugs like I do, and after a while those jugs will pull you down to earth.
Oh my
You know what though? Like,
gosh.
I'm I'm 225 pounds, and it's
Mm.
Oh, I don't know
deceptive because
how.
I'm lanky. So when people see me in person, they're like, "Oh, you're a lot bigger."
Oh
It,
wow.
Oh
it's the
wow.
It's
it's
facial
the
perception. When you see someone on screen, you
yeah.
Yeah,
never know how big that person
I
is.
was totally
that's
blown
true.
away when I found out how short she was. And like you said, it's camera angles and how people are shot and
Yeah.
the lens, the type of lens
Mm-hmm.
compression will. But yeah, it's pretty. If you look at hip hop and rap, most of the rappers are midgets. We're talking about
Oh.
5'1", 5'2", some of the biggest rap
Yeah.
you would never notice for looking at their videos,
I
and they're
saw a
tiny.
Yeah.
picture. I saw a picture of. I think his name is Lil Uzi. Is it
Yeah,
Lil
little
Uzi?
Uzi Vert. Yeah,
Little
he's
Uzi.
like 5'2", something like that.
No,
these
he's
guys are-
shorter. He's like a
Yeah, he's
midget.
tiny.
He's
But you
a
have to.
midget. He's not midget. He's a dwarf. You don't use the word.
Well, yeah, a
Uh,
dwarf, a little
a
person,
small
a little
person.
person, a little
Yeah,
person, a
yeah,
little
yeah.
person.
Small person.
I meant
Little
somebody. I meant somebody who I was
Little
shocked,
person.
still to this day.
Ox is 6'2".
My sister's
Ox.
ex-husband
Oh.
was
Ox is
he was a
tall.
bodyguard, and he's like, bro, you gotta come with me. You gotta come
Ox.
with me. I meant Vin Diesel.
Mm.
Vin
Yeah?
Diesel is 5'6".
What?
No,
He's
that's
a
not
brick.
true. That's
He's
not
a
true.
brick. Look him up. Look him
That's
up.
not true.
What?
Alexa,
Vin
how
Diesel
tall
is.
is
Shorter
Vin Diesel?
than me?
Hang on.
What about Sylvester
Wait, hang
Stallone?
on. Let's hear Alexa.
Oh, 5'11", my arse. 5'11".
All right, hey,
No,
listen.
I'm gonna tell you because
Look online. They be
where are my
looking.
boots? Because
Let me have a
I'm
look.
five.
Vin Diesel.
I'm 5'9", and I wear cowboy boots, so it gives me the illusion
Yeah.
of height. He is
Uh,
not. He is
No.
not. He's 5'6". Where am I?
What about
Oh.
Sylvester Stallone? It's not huge.
I
Oh,
wear
is
cowboy
he-
boots. I'm
Vin
not playing.
Diesel height. Yeah, it says it's 5'11".
No way.
No way.
5'11".
How about Sylvester Stallone?
He's got to be 5'9".
No, I think he might be. He's shorter.
Do you know who I saw? Halle Berry
Dwayne
is like
Johnson.
5'3". Tom Cruise is like
5'11",
5'4",
61.
5'5". Like, I was so shocked.
There's a rapper named
Tom Cruise
Rowdy
might be,
Rich,
really
and I
tall.
saw him next to a dude, and I was blown away how small he looks. He's from the West.
I met Suge Knight, one of the most gangster human beings I've
Yeah.
ever met
Oh,
in my
Suge
life.
Knight. Oh
Yeah.
God.
He was literally a wall of a
Yeah.
human being. Like he's huge.
Yeah.
Tupac. Tupac
unexplainable.
was 5'11". Oh,
Who's
oh
that?
wow. Tupac
Oh.
is 5'11". Chastity is 5'2". She's a small woman.
I'm
I,
on
I,
it. I'm
Small
on it.
small beautiful woman. I
I
like
think
small
when you're in
beautiful
front of the
women.
camera and you're on the screen all the time, and that's the only way you see the people, they seem bigger than
Bigger,
life.
yeah, right,
I
right.
mean, so they
Yeah.
look huge, and
Yep.
then when you bring them down to a regular size, it's like, oh, you're looking at a 60-foot screen, but you meet them in
Yeah.
person. We're looking eye to eye now. Okay, you're not so big.
William Shatner, Mark Hamill, I towered over both of them. You know,
What?
when you see them on TV, they
Oh,
they
yeah.
were huge. You know,
William Shatner. I like William Shatner.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
nice. He was actually really nice. Mark Hamill too. They were actually really nice. I used to go to Comic-Con before it got popular. Now they it's Disneyland prices. I'm a geek. I'm a geek within reason. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Stallone
Nice.
is 5'10". No way.
Who, Solange? Beyonce?
yeah,
sister?
he's
No,
Stallone.
Stallone.
Stallone. Oh,
Sylvester.
Stallone.
Yeah,
Oh,
He
Stallone.
can't be. He can't be. He looks taller.
Yeah, he
but
looks
when-
bigger.
Can't
I
be.
had a buddy who was
No,
who
come
was
on.
little.
Kevin Hart must be 4'5".
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
put
yeah.
6
Kevin Hart. Yeah.
Who
I
put
had a
Oh,
good
man.
friend who was a bodybuilder. He was a
Yeah.
bodybuilder, and he was 5'4". Because when you're shorter, all you got to do is this, and you get huge. I have
Right.
long
Ah.
arms.
Yeah.
I got really long.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, the
Wow.
shorter you are, you can build mass.
He was.
So
he
you
was
I
a
something.
brick.
build some mass.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I'm going to
Build
build
some
mass.
mass.
But what will happen to this area when you're trying to build mass? Would that go? Would that shrink or what?
Shrink slightly.
It would
all
shrink.
depends on-
Not
have you ever
that
heard of
much,
a fighter? named-
Anything that
It
will make
will.
this area shrink. No thanks.
You get floppage.
Anything else can shrink.
You get floppage like Rev. You
Or
have floppage,
Shani.
just slack.
Anything else can shrink, but
You
no.
know, do you know I can't watch Shani and Rev because I get physically repulsed.
Make you sick.
Oh.
You got to power through it.
I'm
Power
a
through
Myself-
it.
compulsive cleaner. I'm a compulsive cleaner. They look like they
and
smell.
power through it.
They do smell. They do smell.
They
Some
look-
people have described. Some people who have met them in real life. Have
That
actually
lady in the store
described-
said the smell was in her store for hours. She had to spray air freshener.
Oh,
Just
that's
hung around.
Oh, that's terrible.
You know,
Yeah.
do you know what? You know what's funny, Dark Voices? You know how you could know that I'm black if you walked past me? I smell like a candle. I got cocoa butter on. I got my deodorant on point.
He's-
Cocoa butter. That's
he
our
stays
thing.
I'm
moisturized.
addicted to Versace cologne.
He
I
stays
smell good.
moisturized.
If you
He's-
if you want to get me anything, and it's got cocoa butter on it, that's all. It's cocoa butter or
Mm.
coconut.
No, what
Coconut
about the other,
cocoa
the
butter.
shea butter? What about shea butter?
I
Oh,
love
shea butter. I've got
too.
some shea
Yeah.
butter. Well, I've
Yeah,
got loads of
butter.
shea butter.
All the white people are like,
Well,
what the hell's going on?
I-
It's
I-
okay,
that
guys.
that thing stinks. Shea butter stinks.
Oh
But I
wow.
love how I put it on and it makes
No,
me
you
look
rub it.
way more buff than I am. Especially when I go to Vegas.
Phil, you
I'm
okay?
shining in the sun.
Phil, you okay?
So wait, the shea butter, to rub on the skin, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, because it helps give that youthful look. Yeah.
We just fight Nash over here, bro.
Yeah.
Just fighting Nash.
What? Say that again. What did you
I
say?
live in the
What?
desert.
You
It's
just fight
hot.
natural.
It's dry.
What did
right?
you say? You fight natural.
We're fighting Ash.
Yep.
You know,
Oh,
ashy.
fighting
Now you get dry.
I don't
Black
like
Yeah,
people
ashy.
call you out in public.
Yeah,
Where I live,
yeah,
you'll get
yeah.
called
I
out.
don't like
Yeah.
ashy. Oh my goodness.
especially outside is very
I try telling my son, we need to in the mornings when it's time to get ready for sleep. He can just
the cream.
come out the bathroom, put his uniform, and that's it. I'm like, no way, you can't. He keeps asking me, Mom, why do I have to put cream on my body? He doesn't understand it. I can't for the life of me. So
otherwise it will
listen,
look ashy.
there are times
Yeah.
when I physically have to put the cream on him
It's-
myself.
But it's a
Oh.
it's a
Same way.
teenager boy thing too.
Yeah.
Until we discover girls or
Yeah.
other boys or whatever,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
don't.
I can't wait.
Our body chemistry is changing at that age, and our hormones, and it takes us a while to catch up to,
Mhm.
you know. Once people start picking on you, most of the time you make that adjustment.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
net-
like-
My son is autistic, and I'm not sure. His might take a bit of time to get there.
might take a
I
bit.
have
Look
these
at
kids all around the house. Because
he got the value
side.
side.
Oh wow, look
He-
at that.
He
I
is
don't like-
not playing.
I don't.
Mm-mm.
I have
No
a 13
wonder. No, listen. You think it's easy to be this guy here? I mean, check him out. Come on. This is the cocoa butter. Come on. Look at that.
I
Listen,
think
we need to contact some cocoa butter brands and get you to
Oh, yeah.
the
we need
model.
to get you to exactly. 'Cause,
spokesmodel.
my goodness.
I'm waiting for
Mm-mm.
Singer for as much as I plug them in my videos.
Well, you know what? See, I haven't checked out your channel yet, so I'm assuming that you're into sewing.
Yeah.
Am I? Or
Oh,
do
yeah.
you do leather work, or just, what do
Everything.
you do?
Mm,
Everything.
Yeah. I've graduated. Like my earlier videos, I was kind of showing all the skills that I had, and now I'm doing things that are outside my realm because I'm testing myself. You know.
Mm.
I tell you what he does that I absolutely love is how he gets clothes that he recycles them and puts his own mark to it.
Mm.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
So
It's
you're
those patches.
branding.
It's those patches.
Oh.
The
Okay.
denim, the denim, and then
Yeah.
the patches, the jackets. And then recently you
Oh.
did a costume. You know that costume you did, which one was it? It was complete with the sword.
Oh yeah.
costume
When I
was
put
it
my
again?
Mr. Yeah. When I
Uh,
shock people at the Renaissance Fair when I roll up with my chainmail on.
Oh my goodness. He made all of that.
Whoa.
Hold on, you
himself.
did chainmail?
Oh yeah,
No.
Wow.
my dad was a bit of an Anglophile, and so I have a ton of Knights Templar stuff. My father passed away a
nice.
couple of years ago. I inherited his motorcycle and all his all the stuff he was hoarding.
Mm.
Oh my.
Wow.
And so I have
And
a ton
and
of
I will
stuff.
tell you,
Wow.
Godless Sewing is a bit of a hoarder himself. He has shown his closet. If I lived anywhere where you lived, I would be in your closet. I would just be helping myself
Well,
to
I
all
Oh
the things.
God.
I'm a part of a charity. See, the thing that
Mm,
started it, I'm a part of a charity that processes clothes to give to people on the streets. And so I
right.
have first pick of everything. It's awful.
Ah,
It's
Ah.
awful. But what
Listen,
happens is
don't
I
give me that position.
I
Don't
end
do
up
it.
like recently in the past 3 weeks, I've emptied half of my closet and donated it because LA is out of control right now as far as homeless people go. Like,
Wow.
if you are able bodied, you come and help. Come
Listen,
and help.
godless sewing.
Wow.
Godless sewing, on the one hand, will give those stuff away. In a week or two, there'll be more than what he's giving
You
away.
know what? I'll tell you
Because,
why. Like, I'm a real life hoarder. You're gonna see me on the
yeah,
show. You
yeah.
are. You're gonna see me.
you,
And it's because I have this space. That's the problem. I have a
Ah.
shop up at my job. I have a
Oh.
storage unit. I literally just bought another shed for the side of my house. Like, I'm
Wow.
crazy. I'm crazy.
Wow.
and is it just like bolts and bolts of material and
Yes.
um,
Yes.
Oh
My
yes, the tons of
Whoa.
material.
I had a large amount of stuff.
Can you send those to the UK?
I wasn't a hoarder until my dad passed away and literally gave me all his stuff.
right,
Like literally. And
Whoa.
then I was like, what am I gonna do? And
right,
my grandmother passed away as well. And like I come from a large family and everybody was fighting over the money.
and
And
you didn't care about none
I
of
Ah.
that.
redid my grandmother's house. I took her entire house and put it in storage. I didn't know I had rare paintings. I had all these things.
What?
Right,
Nobody wanted it. I kept
right.
all of it. And it's been so long they can't sue me.
Wow.
Oh my goodness! Look! Godless sewing is really 86 years old. He bakes in cocoa butter to stay
I
in
used to say this is the TARDIS. I used to always say that this room is the TARDIS because I'm a time
Whatever Godless
I,
is using, I'm buying.
yeah, I got
Whatever
buy
he's
too.
because
I am
what
buying
Phil?
too. I
Phil,
am buying too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Phil,
for
you
real.
never know. Maybe if we use his cocoa butter, Phil, you might just
Yeah.
have that afro.
Oh. Oh yeah.
I miss my
might-
fro. Don't make me pull my fro picture out. I don't even know what it is anymore. I miss my fro.
You might just grow that fro after all.
Oh, I miss my fro.
Oh,
Like,
Jackie has
the hair will grow
has
on
to
my
hop
face.
off
And
soon
just,
so I can get some homework. Yes, I've got homework to do, so I'm gonna have to go very soon. Tomorrow I'm gonna work on my homework. How
Oh.
Bye,
silly I am.
Christy.
Oh
Bye,
gosh.
Chastity, and
Ju-
nice
Bye,
nice to have you
Chastity.
here.
Bye, Chastity.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
boy.
my son's he's cooking, so he's in a chef phase of his life right now.
Ah,
But
that's good.
he has ASD. Like he reads instructions better than I do.
What? Who? Hey, I'm more like looking at cabinets and I can come up with a meal. You know, it's like, oops, hold on. Oop.
I'm the same way, but I have a picky eater in my house, so I try to be nice. Phil, are you a picky eater?
There's some, not necessarily, it depends, because there are certain things I don't like to eat, like eggs, cheddar cheese. I will eat mozzarella cheese, but that will have to be in lasagna or so.
Yeah.
But right now, because I had to further change my diet, because of suffering with a heart attack in February. So I don't eat any more red meat because I was told shouldn't be eating anymore. So I don't eat that anymore. But I was very picky in terms of certain foods. If it doesn't smell good to me,
hmm
that turns me off.
I'm
The
the
smell.
You know, I'm gonna have to slow down the way I eat. I eat like an emancipated 13-year-old, and I'm
Wow.
addicted to pastrami. Like I eat chili
Whoa.
cheese fries, and
Ah.
and in my age, I can feel it. You know,
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Actually, over the years I have lost weight by changing my diet gradually, and well, it got accelerated in February when I had the heart attack. But I was like 190. Before that, was the closest was about 208. I think that was the highest as an adult. But I February was 190, and then after changing my diet completely to reduce sodium, got rid of a lot of not eating fried stuff, using an air fryer instead, and so on. Right now, and doing rehab during about how many weeks ago that would have been 13, 14, 15 weeks ago, doing rehab. I have dropped to 158, 156.
Wow.
But
Wow.
before that, I had dropped weight, but now I'm putting on the free rehab.
There you go. There you go. The registered firearm right there. There's the gun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and my legs, you're seeing some definition too. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, really awesome, man. You know, I mean, I'm
That
feeling a
voice
lot
is
better.
great to hear you. Ian Davenport says
It says,
Phil is great on his diet, and that's why he looks. Look, Phil, I've
and
told you, share
exercise.
this plan with me because I could do with
Yeah,
losing
yeah.
some weight. The big behind and big everywhere needs to cut all of that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Earlier when you guys were talking to the doctor, when you were talking about how atheists eat babies, I was like, "Oh, that's how you live forever."
but it's so ridiculous when they come up with these things. You know, it's to scare people, and clearly, you know, it is a scare tactic. You know, and why do you have to use scare tactics to keep people within your religion or away from other things?
Because they
Because
all have to.
if your religion is that strong, your faith, quote unquote, is that strong.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to be using these tactics and telling them, oh, don't read this, don't read that, and trying to keep you away from reading stuff, that will question their faith because they don't have any evidence. That's it. And they know what will happen.
It's all about control.
And it's control.
If you think about, like, look at the Catholic Church, it goes perfect with the state.
Yeah.
Because the Catholic Church tells you, pay your money, put your nose down, pray to God.
Mm-hmm.
It's a racket. At least to me, it's people get mad when I say sometimes I think being religious is a mental illness. Sometimes I do. Certain people treat it as such. Not all.
It was not necessarily mental illness because I mean both Esther and I, we were in religion, and I was deep into fundamentalism.
I think we all
Esther
were.
too. We were, but it's just
We all were.
it is abusive system that keeps people in control, just like abusive spouse. That's how I describe it. It's abusive.
I think some people feel like it's a mental illness, and I'm not a psychologist or anything, and it's because of this.
It's not.
It's because, but I think why some people feel that way is because of this. The things that you do that will get you classified with having a mental illness, all of a sudden are okay if you put it under religion.
Yep.
So if you walk around talk about you have visions, you have voices, you're being instructed by a visible person, people will look at you and be trying to diagnose you with a psychiatric disorder. But as soon as you say, my God, or I believe in this, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I think people sometimes equate it with that. If you think about the things, I mean, you really think about it. If people make their decision on what they're going to eat, what job they're going to take by a voice of a person they've never seen. If you have an auditory hallucinations,
Yeah.
If you're seeing visions,
Yep.
most of the time,
Yeah.
outside of religion, that would be in a mental disorder.
Right. So what I think is that you have some persons who do have mental issues, um, where because now religion kind of amplify those issues, or those
Absolutely.
issues are used, so they actually see these things and don't realize that it is sometimes that they are having a mental issue which they need to have addressed, because especially if they're schizophrenic
Yeah.
or even bipolar, some persons and are not on medication because the religion tell them that they have to, that those things are evil and they need to pray and believe. Then they come up and say, "Oh, I had this vision. I am seeing these things."
Right.
It's just like Ellen G. White. Ellen G. White got hit in her head with a stone, and she started seeing things. That part of her brain, most likely, if she was alive and they did a CAT scan, they will realize that that part got damaged and she's hallucinating. So she would say, "Oh, God told me this," but then you realize there were a lot of contradictions with her prophecies. Come back and give something different, But as you said, when it's religion, people take it as, "Oh, it's okay." But if it is somebody that is not talking about religion, or they have a mental illness,
Well, for people
I'll-
that know me, if I started talking about I'm having visions or God's talking to me, they would automatically try to get me some psychological help because they know
Yeah.
they know me. They know this is not coming from a religious aspect. Something is wrong with him.
I would say extreme zealotry. Not all religious people, but people who take it literal. I have a cousin who's an evangelical Christian, and they literally eat what's in the Bible. They homeschool their children. They have literally taken their children out of society. I think that's a bit extreme.
Terrible. It is. It is.
I know you can't
It
stay
is.
all night, Esther.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It's just gone past midnight, and
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I
I
would
know
tell you
all
it
of
was
you. All of you are on the other side of the world where
yeah.
life is good. Life is good on that side.
Oh no,
Where
what
you all
time?
are.
Really?
It's 8 o'clock Sunday night for me. You're like about 4 o'clock. Godless on.
Is it o'clock
It's 5.
Sunday night for me too?
It's
It's
5.
5 o'clock.
Wait,
Yeah.
hang on. So wait, Dark Voices. You say what time is it where you are right now?
It's 8
8.
o'clock for me, but I'm on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast.
Yeah. It's 8 o'clock
So
for me too.
Godless Sewing. What time is it?
It's
where you
5 o'clock in the evening,
Oh my goodness! Right.
and I can smell my son's
Oh,
making
wow.
oven fried
yeah,
chicken. It
he's
smells
on
so
the
good.
West Coast.
He's
Wow.
cooking, is he?
Oh, he's quite
cooking?
a chef, actually. He's such a chef.
My
Because
son,
he
my
has-
son's not allowed
Whoa.
to go in the kitchen. No, my son's
I-
not.
When I was younger, I'll make it really short. I'm the last of 9, so when I was
Oh
a
my
kid,
God.
I was an oops baby. My mom literally marched me to the stove and
Ooh,
was like,
oops,
"Light the stove."
baby.
She taught me how to cook. So I did the same to my
Mm.
son. Like, no,
Yeah.
you need life skills.
I think every man should know how to cook, do laundry,
Absolutely.
and clean
Yeah,
houses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Ian Davenport, what part of the world are you in? It's 10
I was-
a.m.
I was
Wait,
raised
hang
by
on,
my
hang on.
father,
Ian
and my
Ian
dad was the
Davenport.
same way.
Ian
My dad
Davenport.
was a clean
Is it
freak.
is it 10 a.m. the day before, the day after?
Is it Sunday or Monday?
Is it Sunday or Monday where you are? Oh, it's Australia. No, you know
Wow, now I-
Australia. Australia,
Monday,
they,
Wednesday,
It's
Tuesday,
Monday, yeah.
Australia,
Yeah.
Australia,
Is that
Australia
a real?
are
Is that a real
a
country?
universe. They're
Not a real
they're
country.
a complete universe.
Is that a real country?
It is, yeah. Australia is.
I
real
heard it
country.
was a myth. I know New Zealand's real, but Australia is real.
Australia is
what the
real.
patches? I actually
You
got
sure?
some really
That's where
cool
the kangaroos.
Australian
That's where
patches today.
kangaroos come from.
No, kangaroos don't come from there.
Yeah.
They come from Jamaica. What are you talking about?
Kangaroos come from
G-Man
Jamaica.
said Jamaica is in Africa.
Oh,
What's wrong with
gosh.
y'all people? Y'all think Australia is real?
It
Y'all
is real.
about you about bad as
Oh,
Shandy with her hollow moon. No, her holograph moon. No, no, no. Australia's
No,
not
oh
real.
my
Oh,
gosh.
that's right. The NOI, they believe
Monday.
in the LMACD. They believe in spaceships. And you
Have
can
you
they,
ever met somebody
It's a
from
real country.
Australia? Tell me.
Here in
Any
Davenport.
no, 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 no,
my
no.
neighbor was from New
Yes, do a
Zealand.
poll. Yes, New Zealand's real. Esther, have you ever met
Oh, New
somebody from
Zealand,
Australia?
Here
Australia.
in Davenport. Yes.
No, no, you haven't met him. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Phil,
Actually,
have you ever met somebody from Australia?
Not
I'm yet
exactly,
to
but the
meet.
cricketers from
See,
Australia.
all of
Oh,
these
oh, oh,
things, these
oh, oh,
people,
oh, oh.
godless,
No,
is
no.
up to you.
Listen,
no, my neighbor
listen,
was from New
listen.
Zealand, and she said, "Oh, I was raised in the bush." Like, she was no joke. She helped me put up my patio. Like, she was no joke.
Ian
I miss her.
Davenport,
I miss
Wallabies
her.
is a type of shoes. Stop it.
We have
Wallabies is a shoe brand.
we
Quit it.
have
Reminds me of Ghostface. Wallabies
there's
remind me
someone
of Ghostface.
there's someone that comes in the chat. People Fulu.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
People Fulu's from Australia.
Australia. Yeah.
I don't believe it.
That
Maybe
it makes
maybe
me-
Tasmania,
Hold on.
Tasmania,
So when
but Australia's
people-
not real.
Okay, so Dark Voices, I have a really cool question. When people are speaking in Australian accents, are they like in a bunker in Ohio? Are they at a weather station in New York?
They're
Where are they?
poor. They're poor British people. That's why they sound like that. That's why they sound like that.
Can I ask, do Australians get winter?
Yeah,
Do
the
they get
exact
any
opposite.
winter at all?
The opposite of us.
Don't they in the mountainous areas probably get no their winter their winter is in
December.
it
I'm
is
sorry.
no the Australian winter is in August
During
around
our summer. Yeah.
during our summer. Yeah.
Listen, this
And-
place
and
is
their summer is
allegedly.
December.
This place is near the bottom of the earth. The sun doesn't even shine down
Yeah.
there. The sun doesn't even shine. So how do you get weather?
Where the sun shines in Australia. That's like
You
sun
people
all
are
the
gullible.
time.
I hate to tell you. I hate to tell
You're
you.
the gullible one. You are the
You
gullible
know-
one.
Do you know how embarrassed I was when those flat earthers came to the lake by my house? They are so lucky I didn't know they were there. I would have come with a megaphone.
Wow.
Get out of
Was
here.
that when they were doing the measurement with the that micrometer that proved them wrong, and they were like, "Oh, I think I saw that clip."
It is literally 2 freeway exits from my house. I was so
Wow.
embarrassed. They came to my town to act like idiots.
Well, look, watch this. Watch it. I'm gonna show you how made up Australia is. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove it to y'all.
Oh,
Okay.
Exactly around how many camels are in Australia?
Camels.
How are we
Camels.
supposed to know that voices?
okay.
There's
I don't
why
know.
there's and see somebody from Australia would be like, yeah, there's camels here. That's how you know they're lying because camels are only in Middle East, Africa.
Well, I've been to Egypt and they had a gang of camels in
Mhm.
Northern
Yeah, yeah,
Africa.
camels in
They
East
had a
Africa.
gang of
No, no,
camels in Northern
no,
Africa.
that's not Africa.
I'm gonna go find that picture.
Well, I've got
The
me,
real-
I've got me a camel in my living room. So
The real Aboriginals, they're from Tasmania. I mean, come on, everybody knows that.
What was from Tasmania?
Are you gonna start fighting?
Tasmanian devil.
I'm gonna
Even-
get some hate messages in my DMs. I know some Australians.
Scapegoat Sirius is talking about where are the real Aboriginals from. I don't.
I actually
What do you
blocked
mean?
someone on Twitter because they
Hold-
were like telling me I don't know black struggles. I was like, block. I don't need to hear this today.
no,
Look at Ian Davenport in the chat line. No. We have camels. They claim everything that's cool. They're full of it. It's not a real place.
Yeah.
It's not a real.
I
No.
love it when people say
it's-
Australia is not real.
Okay,
They're
okay,
marsupials.
okay,
Marsupials.
okay. Let's do something.
Okay.
We could plan something, right?
Mhm.
2023, the atheists
Down under.
meet. Yes, atheists down on.
We'll never get there. We will never get there.
I
That's
have a
going to be the
passport.
problem.
I'm down. I have a passport. I've never been
Atheists
there. I'm
down
down.
on that. I've never been.
This
Right,
is
but the only
alright.
trouble is you'll be on the plane for a long,
Oh, yeah.
long.
Forever.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's not a landed strip there. The country doesn't exist.
Where you going to land then? If
From
there's no
LA.
land,
It doesn't exist.
17 hours.
they just drop you in the water.
You just, oh
From
gosh.
the air, they just drop you.
You have to sign the
Listen,
You have
I
to
non-disclosure or
swim.
what?
I tell you
Listen,
this.
it has to be a rare place. My
Why?
great grandmother was
Mm-hmm.
Australian.
Mm-hmm.
Where you? Oh,
Where,
Phil.
where, where, where did you meet her
Oh,
at?
Right? No, no, no. But her
Where did
dad
you
was
that,
meet?
a ship captain. She
Huh?
come
lived.
on,
He
voices.
was a ship captain and owned a plantation here. So
I'm gonna take
at
you up
the
on that.
So,
You
point in
never meet.
so
time, and
you
and
never.
she got disowned by him because she had children from a
Mm-mm.
black man.
I hope so
Ah,
too,
Yeah,
James.
three
Mm-hmm.
children from a black man, and she loved the one that was darkest. She loves him the
Oh,
most,
That is
ah.
that
which
is
was my
one dark.
grandfather.
That is one very dark thing about Australia was the
Uh,
genocide committed,
Oh,
so European
well,
people could live there. You know,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm angry. Like
why,
I'm an
why,
angry
why
person.
don't, why don't people talk about that then?
Argentina
Why
is
is
the
it?
same way. Argentina is the exact same way.
You
Ask
know,
anyone from
you
Argentina, how
know,
come there's no black people here? Genocide.
saying that, that's something I don't know anything about. The genocide that's happened in Australia, and I think I would do some investigation, um,
Oh,
just to because
it's
sometimes it's easy to just take for granted what's happened in other parts of the world. It's so you live in
why
your
don't
own little
why
bubble,
don't you
and
talk
you
to
don't know
Ian
what's happening.
Davenport about it? I mean, apparently he's from this alleged country.
there is
Oh,
some
I will be at
really
the airport hours in advance with this
oh
open invites 2023
Mm,
Australia. Here we come.
2023, New Zealand. Here
very
we
true.
come.
I know. Careful,
You
careful.
can you can go
You
to
are
New
going to
Zealand.
New Zealand.
You can go
You are
to.
going
I
to New
I know where I'm
Zealand.
going.
They changed the
Look,
signs and say
look,
Australia on it for dumb Americans
Phil,
that fly in.
Phil looks like he's already in Australia. Look at his background.
Oh
Careful,
yeah.
Ian. I'm a
Oh
loud
yeah.
American. I'm gonna show up with a cowboy hat, a
Go
passport.
watch out for the white sharks. You know.
See, look. Ian
Great
Davenport
white.
said you can have the car, plenty of room. It would be an honor for me. Look at this.
Oh.
I'll sleep outside. Oh my.
Whoa.
Okay, but
Phil, oh,
here's
listen, Ian.
Whoa.
Ian.
Can we
Tomorrow I'm
ride
going
your
to
pet
check.
camels?
I'm going to check how much the tickets are to Australia. Right. So
Dark
I'm going
Horse.
to
You
start.
can come to my town. We have camels here. Buffalo.
I thought you were talking about cigarettes, camel cigarettes.
Oh
I
my
That's
had to put those
goodness.
down. I smoked non-filters
Listen,
forever. I had to put those down.
If LA has camels, then I'm 7'5", seven
LA
feet
has
five.
camels.
Oh, we have camels because of the
No,
They have
movie
you
camels.
industry.
don't.
There's
No, you
everything.
don't.
There was one day I'm sitting in my car and two German tanks and two British tanks went past me because they were filming a movie.
Yeah.
You
We got
know, this is
everything.
LA. Like, there's
Live
all
and
kinds
die
of
in
crazy.
LA.
Yeah.
I bet it's a very expensive city to live in.
Honestly, we're in my neighborhood. Have you ever seen the movie The Last Black Man in San Francisco?
No.
No, I haven't seen that one. I
It's
saw One Day
it,
Without a Mexican. That's a good movie. No, for
in
real. It's a real movie.
in my neighborhood, like I'm one of the last people to actually own a home.
Right.
Like
Everything's
no
Whoa.
one
rentals.
around here owns a home because rent just to rent
Mm.
a house starts at $5,000.
Whoa.
So,
Wow.
like one of the properties we're building is
Mm.
700 homes on it. Brand new homes
Right.
that they're building, and every last one of them are going to be rental homes.
That's see,
Complete neighborhood, acres of land.
Hmm.
Every last home, none of them are for sale. They're all rentals, multi-million dollars, and they'll make it back in like 5 years.
I
Through
come
Wow.
from
Yeah.
my grandfather and father owned property because they were smart, and people just don't. Americans don't own anything anymore, and people don't even
Mm-mm.
realize it. Like everything
Mm.
is owned by a corporation nowadays, and it's gonna be scary one day when they get to tell everyone what to do because they own everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
keep giving away your rights.
And we all could move to
Wow.
Australia. I'm sure.
And ride camels.
Ian
All right.
Davenport, can you do me a favor, please? When we land in Australia, can you deport Dark Voices?
You know what? if I
puts
go
him
with
back.
y'all, you know the little thing they put on your arms when you're a kid and you get in the pool, the little floaties.
Floaty.
Yeah.
My whole bag is gonna be full of floaties because I'm gonna need them because there's no land there. It's an ocean.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna sell you my guy. I'll sell you my floaties, each of you. I'll sell them to you because you're gonna be begging.
You
Mm-mm.
almost
Oh
killed me
my
on that because I
goodness.
started laughing and smoking at the same time.
Oh gosh.
Made up country, Australia. These peoples.
And
It, it, it-
Phil, make sure to come with your wife as well, okay?
Yeah.
Don't leave the
Yeah.
wife
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah. You
I
know.
have a
All
bone.
the people who have wives, bring your wives. All the people who have husbands, bring them along. And all of you who have none of the above, just bring
Oh
yourself.
no, I'm gonna do a gang of push-ups and show up with my shirt off.
Why? Why is
Ooh.
that? Why is that? I've got my eyes.
Ooh.
Hold on, let me see if I
God
can
bless
find
me.
the.
God bless.
Probably
God bless.
tattooed.
God bless. Someone wants to go and find himself some
I just want to know, is he
um,
going to have some of that
some
cream on his back?
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna need
some
help.
what? Some cream on the back?
Yeah. Like G-Man, the cream on his back. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh.
God bless wants to go find
See, I
himself.
avoid G-Man too. I'm gonna tell you, like, again, there was when G-Man started going to the park and ranting. This was during 2020
Yeah.
when I was trapped in the house. First
Yeah.
off, I was like, imagine if you lived near that park. I would be
Oh.
like, shut the front door, bro.
We've heard people once or twice scream at him. Yes.
I'd be on
We've
my
heard
bed,
people.
like, bro.
Yeah. We've heard people scream at him like, "Shut up!" I mean, it's funny. Oh, his park streams, his late night park streams are the best. When
Because,
he's
like,
just like,
I
"Oh,
don't sleep, and when someone goes live at 2 o'clock in the morning West
Can
Coast
you
time,
imagine?
I know you have not slept. And that's another thing. I'm not gonna get into it too hard, but sometimes I think G-Man is either extremely mentally ill or he smokes crack.
um,
Mentally
I think he's
ill.
mentally ill."
Yeah.
That
Because
don't get.
There's something.
there's a certain
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
acts like
That
He
voices,
gets.
right?
Yeah.
That voices. His very recent video,
Mhm,
right,
mhm.
was of G-Man. People troll this man. They troll.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people and for some reason he feeds into these
He
trolls.
falls for it.
And one of them, maybe some of them said, "Oh, he must be hiding Shani and Rev in his
Yeah.
house." This man would turn his camera on and record the house
The entire
Oh.
from the
on
basement
live
to the attic,
from basement to attic,
every
just
room.
to show everyone
N-
that they're
But
not
then,
here.
see, this is the thing. This has historical precedence. He has been trolled into doing that before at his sister's house. So G-Man would tell you that nobody knows anything, but if you put stuff to him like, "Oh, you must be back at this house," instead of him saying, "Ain't none of your business," he turns his camera on and shows everybody. So now we got a better look of that house than we've ever had. We wouldn't know if Shani and Red was around. Apparently they're not, but we saw every room. You know, he doesn't realize that. The thing is G-Man mentally ill?
They could be
I'm
outside.
leaning towards fetal alcohol poisoning and possibly lead paint. I remember years ago he mentioned that lead paint is sweet.
What?
Yes.
What's
So you
lead
have to
paint?
think.
Lead paint that contains lead.
I know
compounds,
there is paint that
but
The
contains
lead,
lead. But
chips,
what does that
but
mean?
the
What
fine
do you mean?
particles,
the chips
the
that
lead.
come off the house, like on the
Yeah.
window sills, was lead paint, and it was a big hazard because children
Inhale.
would eat it or
Yeah.
inhale it, and it does neurological damage.
The lead
Major.
blocks neural pathways in the brain.
Right.
It's
Now-
poisoning.
Another thing I've noticed about G-Man, because I had never seen it until he met Shani and Rev when they cooked, the way he walk, his gait is messed up. He
Yes.
walks on the ball of his feet,
yes.
and his gait is messed up. I think there's some neurological issues going on.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
But also this guy runs marathons. I mean, he could do that. So the thing is,
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Phil,
not
he's ran
so.
marathons.
When you look at him, he's not so bad looking. He's not
No, he's
so.
in shape.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
Yeah.
in
so.
shape.
If only he'll.
Especially when he
If
did.
if only he'll just own his sexual identity.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
I
yeah.
want.
Well, and that's another
Own
Yeah,
it.
thing.
but
Own it.
His
but
anger is
Sexual
I'm, try-
repression.
I'm
Sexual repression.
oh, it's homosexual rage. Takes
Yeah.
one to know
Sexual
one.
repression.
Yeah.
He's so angry. He needs a hug.
Yeah.
He needs a
Needs
friend.
needs an
I,
outlet.
yeah,
he needs
It's
to get off of
okay, like-
YouTube.
Put
Yeah.
on his back.
He needs to get off YouTube.
It's ruining his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is the thing. Normally,
Come on.
I'm around people a lot that have mental illness and have developmental delays. I don't walk around picking on them and talking shit and all of that. The problem for G-Man is he's a malicious fuck. That's the problem.
Very
He's not just living his life, trying to live his best life. He goes out, he attacks people,
Yeah.
he rages against people, he wants to harm people. And before drag started keeping him in check, G-Man had a channel. And his channel would have ears and eyes. And I think and it's not just atheists, because most of the people in the group are atheists, they're Christian. These
It's
people
everywhere.
unite all kind of people.
I don't
If you-
believe the Christians in his chat. I'm like, bro, it's mainly atheists.
Yeah, it's all atheists. It's just like when people.
Well, in his other chat, the G-Man one, yes, maybe that.
Yeah, in his chat. But so you can have somebody that it don't matter if they're Christian, atheist, or what. They're there because he attacks homosexuals, or
Yeah.
he's there he attacks women, and so he has brought together so many different type of people. Just like Shani has brought all people with arthritis into her community because she's talking about she can't work because arthritis, and there's people like I got arthritis, I go to work every damn day, and it
Oh, my
pisses
body
them
hurt.
off. Yeah, it pisses them
All the
off.
beef-
And that's another thing. He says incredible things. Okay, where I'm
Yes.
from, if you threaten somebody,
Oh,
that person is gonna come after you. You can't just say, "I'm gonna come and get you," because that person's like, "No, I'm gonna come and get you." I don't know where he's from, but in LA, you
All right.
cannot threaten.
It should be easy
all
to
right.
find.
God,
G-Man
listen,
is- G-Man-
I'm gonna run it
must-
down to you. I'm gonna run
You
it
can't do
down
that
to
around
you.
here.
I'm gonna run it down. I'm gonna run it down to you, Godless.
Oof.
This is what's happened, and this is a myth that's been propagated. G-Man grew up in the hood, but he grew up with a large family, right?
Yeah.
And as a child, G-Man would say stuff and do stuff, and he was the local kid that everybody knew wasn't right. And so it ain't cool to beat up the kid that you know is not right. It's more like get away from me or whatever. But on top of it, he has some G's in his family. And like, you fuck my little brother, I'm gonna beat your ass, right? So
I know how
he
that
had that protection, but it's worked against him because he grew up all the way as a little kid and then into his teens and stuff, and he's never had an ass whooping.
Yup.
Mm,
Yup.
You see what I'm saying?
I think that's what it is too, because I always say, like, I can tell when someone's parents didn't whoop their ass when they were
Right.
growing up. Like,
Right.
I can instantly tell.
Right.
You know?
So now, but
Right.
now
Right.
it progressed. It progressed. So he had this protection. He never had to deal with consequences of saying wild stuff to people and getting stomped out on the curb. But then it continued into his adult life, into his 20s or whatever. Now, people propagate this myth. Drag has done it. GP has done it. That nobody messes with G-Man because of his family are gangsters, right? This is a lie. The Black Hebrew Israelites do not beat G-Man ass because they think he's an informant. They think he is an agent for the police. So if they do something to him, because he has told them, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police. So they think he's there to basically to cause problems. That's why they don't beat his ass.
I've always wondered.
This man-
Wondered.
This man
Where I'm from.
threatened. He threatened to kill. He threatened to kill some people, and he the next day took his video where he was threatening to kill people,
Mhm.
went to the police station
Yes.
to go and report the people
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was threatening.
He's threatening.
He
Yeah.
recorded himself
And
snitching.
And the police were
Yeah,
like, bro,
yeah.
you threatening people. You better, yeah. But okay, so let me finish up regardless. So
Oh,
now on
wow.
top of it, so G-Man now, he will say, because he has family members that's in Hebrew Israelite groups and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But G-Man
Oh.
will say, you know, oh, all my,
Okay, I'm gonna be there in a second.
Okay,
he,
need to go.
he'll talk, he got Crips and Bloods in the family. All of them are from a younger generation. Now, on the East Coast, I can't speak for the West, but on the East Coast, Crips and Bloods, not really happy about informant, I'm gonna call the police, undercover homosexuals.
So
I
really
don't
quick,
think if he's getting beat up, he can throw up the G signal and they coming to his rescue.
really quick
Honestly.
here, no one calls the police. I'm not kidding you. My arm could be
Yeah.
hanging off, and I'd
Yeah.
call my cousin. I'd call.
Bro.
I would. We don't call the cops here. We don't
So
involve. We don't talk to
I'm
them.
saying his whole thing is a myth. It's a myth, and that's why he hasn't been beaten down. And he's reckless. He threatens people,
Yeah.
and he's going to threaten the wrong person in
He
real
will
life.
find out.
And
He will.
he,
Yeah.
as they say here, fuck around and find out.
Because
Mhm,
I
that's
mean,
it.
here,
it's
like,
going to happen.
the Hebrew
Mhm.
Israelites,
Yeah.
like they're like I consider them a joke, but you don't run up on anyone ever. At least
No,
where
you
I live, you
don't.
don't run up
No.
on
don't.
anyone.
Yeah. I mean,
Even
so
the weakest of people, you don't just make threats.
this is America. Everybody got guns. Anybody can
Mm-mm.
get it. You leave
Got-
people
yep,
alone.
yep.
It don't matter
Everybody.
how big or how small they are. And the younger, the more
Okay,
dangerous.
question,
You don't
question.
fool.
Absolutely.
That voices and godless
Yeah.
sewing. Does any of you do you carry?
Yes, I do. I have fuck around and find out at my house. I was
Yeah.
raised by a hillbilly.
That voices
have-
do you carry?
And I work at a ranch too,
Yeah.
so I have a license to carry.
Wait, so both of you carry.
I always keep something, but it's not like
Okay, now
more for home.
Mm.
Home.
now I know whose houses I'm never going to go to.
Well, this is the
Phil-
thing. I'm gonna
I
tell you
have a
I
something.
know
Wells Fargo.
Phil,
I
I
have a
know
Wells
you
Fargo
don't
safe.
carry, so yes,
No.
I'm coming to visit
No.
Phil.
I have a Wells Fargo safe. Like I live in
Phil-
California. They have
Phil,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
coming to Phil, I'm coming to visit you.
Yeah.
What
You
you
see
want?
the
You
two
want
of
to?
them down there? Oh no.
You want to hear something amazing? You want to hear something amazing? And I will see. I'm gonna ask Godless another blind question.
Oh, here we go now.
Oh,
If everybody knows that you have a gun, what is that more likely to make you?
Oh, a target in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
Oh,
You got
absolutely.
a gun. I'm coming to steal it.
It's the my
Yes.
pops used to
It's
always
the
say,
exact opposite. You don't let people know.
yeah, it's the gunfighter mentality. Like,
Yeah.
um,
It makes you a target.
oh hell
Okay,
yeah.
because I noticed
Wow.
both of you did not say yes, you do. You godless sewing said, I've got to fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. It could be
It's-
it could be a machete.
Yeah.
Well,
That
my,
voice is you avoided the question as well.
my father, he was from Savannah, Georgia. Okay, he literally grew up. I say Ray Charles style, overalls, no shoes, had a cow every year, and then they would chop it and eat it all winter. And so my dad was inherently like, well, if as a black person, if I can own guns, I'm going to, because white people will never rise up again.
Mhm.
They're never gonna tell me what to do again. And he was the extreme contrast, because he worked at NASA, but my dad was a hillbilly. So he was always in the back of his head. He had 1950s Georgia in his mind, you
Right.
know. And so I come from that mentality of, I'm not here to hurt anybody. When I leave my house, like,
Yeah.
I don't go out with a gun. I don't walk around advertising
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
But if you come to take my person, you better bring like 70 people with you.
I mean, yeah, it's a thing. The
Mm.
people that's always kind of flashing their gun, I'm a little bit less scared at them. You know, because I'm, it's the little homies. If you're around situations long enough, you get a sense. And I don't even think it's like it's not a supernatural sense. I think you get in tune with people body language.
Hey, Richard.
And I think over time you get a little
Yeah.
PTSD, so you're constantly
Hi,
watching
Richard.
hands, eyes, exits.
I'm desensitized. And this younger generation, like LA has turned into Gotham City. Honestly,
Yeah.
like, let's be
Mm,
real.
mm,
LA,
Yeah.
like
Wow.
that guy. And I'm gonna say this to be kind. If you're not from LA, stick to Hollywood, West
Yeah.
Hollywood. The gays love you. The
Yeah.
gays are the
mhm,
best
mhm.
tour guides. Go to the
Yeah.
beach. Go to Santa Monica. Stay away from Venice.
Mm.
Oh, you
But
talking
like,
about P&B Rock?
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you're not from there, don't go there. And I'm not trying to be mean. No one
Yeah.
deserves
Nah.
to die, but like
Mm.
the Roscoe's I go to is in Hollywood, on Hollywood and Gower.
And
You know?
apparently, everybody said that's the Roscoe. You never go to that one. Nobody.
No, that's in the hood.
It,
That if
yeah.
you're not
Well,
from there,
see,
don't go there. That's the
this is the
rule.
thing. This is the thing. People they slip. This is basic street sense that you can use it. It's weird here. Any city you can get it.
Yep.
I mean, and so I look at every city, every situation. You don't associate your
Mhm.
stuff with certain things. I mean, I've known cartel members and this and that, especially when I had a body shop. They knew I wasn't about that life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
mean, I would work on cars, but I wasn't about into their business, touching their
Mhm.
business, and that's the way I just kept it.
Yeah.
But when you start dibbling and dabbling and spending
Mhm,
personal time with
mhm,
certain people,
Mhm.
mhm,
you can get
mhm.
caught up real quick. So I'm
Yeah.
like, hey,
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
That is the reason why I stick to myself, because even my old friends, I was gone for 10 years, and I'm not saying I surpassed them, but they stayed
yeah,
in my hometown and they kept that mentality.
yeah.
I traveled. I
Mm.
went overseas. I went to places where people didn't speak the same language as I
I
did.
tell people
You
that's the
know,
biggest gift you can, in my opinion. I don't have children, but the biggest gift you can give a child. Forget toys, forget that. Travel. When you
Mm.
Yeah.
travel,
Yep.
that is lifelong. I remember the
Yeah,
Yep.
it
first time
is.
I went to the beach,
Yes.
the first time I went to the mountains,
Yep.
the first time I went overseas.
Mhm.
I remember the first time my father took me fishing. I remember that.
Yeah. I
Take
remember that
them
too.
places when they can interact with a different scenery and a
Mm.
different
Yeah.
style. It opens your
Mhm.
brain up. And
Oh,
that's my personal
It
absolutely.
opinion.
does.
When I was a kid, my parents took us to Egypt, and it was empowering to see people who
Mhm.
looked like me on
Yeah.
monuments, and to see like it honestly it changed me, and I was like
Live,
Mhm.
8 years old.
live. He got his Egyptian swagger. Did they did they have camels? You sure you didn't go to Australia?
Oh goodness.
People
Oh
no, I've
goodness.
never been to Australia, because people in the black community, people it's a brag when you be like, oh, I've been to Africa.
Yeah,
What about you? It's a
yeah.
flex.
I've never been. I went over to other parts, but I've never been to Africa.
Well, Northern
Mm.
Africa is different though.
Mm.
And I've been to Israel as well, and I always say it's different when you go to religious countries. Like Egypt is a
Mm.
Muslim
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
They
Mhm,
Yeah.
do
mhm.
not play around. Don't bring your vape. Don't do a Brittany
Yeah,
Griner.
okay.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
How many years did Britney get?
9 years, and
Just
what the
for
Yeah.
what was it you
hard
mentioned?
she got
Oh,
hard
check.
labor,
Yeah.
and
She had what? What did she have?
she got 9 years hard labor in a
For
gulag. I want people to
for what?
understand
What
this.
what
Yeah.
what was she carrying?
A
Uh,
It
vape
was
pen.
a liquid.
Liquid,
Just a
It was
liquid
vape pen?
liquid.
THC,
It's
liquid
liquid
THC.
THC. It's
Liquid
liquid marijuana.
THC. Oh
Because
Yeah,
my
in
liquid.
Liquid.
god.
here in California, I could, like, all the stuff I bought, I went to the store and bought it legally. You can
Mm.
go get a vape
Right.
cartridge
Right.
real quick in California.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Well, this is the thing. Russia has very strict gun laws too. There have been Americans that's went over to do hunting and got caught with just a little bit of ammo. They were going in the country to hunt and got years. But you have to understand, most of this is she's a political
Politics.
hostage. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is geopolitics, and I
Mhm.
say don't as a don't. Yeah, she shouldn't have been fucking around. She found
But
out,
the
but
messed up thing is, though, is that the Russians right now, if you look at their propaganda, they're anti-Black Lives Matter.
yeah.
I watched this guy. His channel's called No Fuckers. It's just
Mm,
it's some guy who's literally a refugee from Russia who's changed his channel recently,
right.
and he shows their propaganda. They make fun of Black people.
Yeah.
There's this couple going on a plane to America. They're going from Russia to America, and
Mm,
all these things happen. And this African American guy walks up, and he's like, "I need to go to the bathroom." And all the Russian guys, they're like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "You need to take a knee, because he's Black. You have to get out of his way." But the Russians were
It's
basically saying that in
yeah,
America, you have to take a knee to
yeah,
black people.
yeah.
They're
It's
crazy.
the propaganda, but because they're behind the Republican Party and they're throwing a lot of weight behind it, and
Ugh,
so they can amplify
Mm.
messages that Republicans not necessarily can come out and say themselves,
it's
and so
insane.
they could be a megahorn. But I did watch a while back a documentary about black people in Russia that actually left America and moved to Russia back in like I believe the 30s and 40s, and it was interesting. One became an actor and became rather famous, and there was a black population in Russia that left that left America and went to
Mm,
Russia. It's very interesting to
okay.
look into. I mean, who
Is
knew?
it like
You
the
know.
black people who are in Israel trying to take over? They think that Israel somehow belongs to them.
Well, there's black. Well, we
I
know for a
don't know.
fact there are black Jews.
Don't
That's a
exist yet.
fact.
That's
I
another
mean,
fight because
That's the one
they
from
were the original.
Ethiopia.
They were the original
right. I
Jews.
mean, you
You
got
know.
Ethiopian
Please
Jews. You got
don't
this,
Yeah.
don't
not,
please
you
don't
know,
don't
there's
don't
black
say
Jews.
don't say that around Kanye West, please.
Yeah. Well, the
See, but
Don't
thing
that's
get don't
is,
get
too
don't get the man
conflating.
started
the
again.
black Hebrew
No.
Israelites want to claim that the
Oh,
lost tribe was brought here in slavery. There's no
That's what they claim.
evidence. We did
Yeah.
not come from
no.
that. Most slaves did not come
Listen,
from that part of the world.
a lot of the slaves came through Barbados into
Hmm.
the United States.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
into the Carolinas,
Right.
Hmm.
into the Carolinas. Because when I was researching for a podcast, Humanist Barbados on slavery, and why did God allow slavery? Yeah, I found that out that Barbados was the main hub. We actually taught the United States how to have slave plantations.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. We had.
So a lot of them that went there took their slaves with them over there. So
That makes sense.
and a lot of them
There's.
came from Nigeria, Ghana.
Yep.
Was
Yep.
Nigeria, Ghana, the Ivory Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I
There.
know my father was Nigerian. He was obsessed with finding out what bloodline he was. He went and got blood
Oh,
tests. My
okay.
mother and him actually went to Nigeria. That was one trip I didn't get to go.
What part of Nigeria?
It's still to this day I don't know. I have to go. I have to go through. It's probably Lagos.
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 There's my American accent
Uh,
because my dad was he
she say
spoke.
Legos.
He
Yeah, I
said
did.
Lagos.
I have my West Coast twang. I drag words
Yeah.
Lagos.
now. I literally have to I have to like open my mouth because on the West Coast we talk fast and we speak half the word.
Ah.
No, but yeah, my entire side of the family that were slaves, they came from Clinton, South Carolina, and
Ah.
then well, my dad was from Savannah, Georgia, but basically I'm related because of my last name. I'm related to every other black person in
Mm.
South Carolina and Georgia.
Uh, but I was wondering, Phil,
Yeah.
do you know about buck breaking
Oof,
But breaking,
that happened on the islands before the slaves came here?
Phil, you don't know about
I no. That
This,
sounds like Jamaica.
but yeah, I know it happened on Jamaica. They had slave farms basically. When the slaves were brought from Africa, they would stop on the island and often systematically gang rape the men to break their wheel.
the
Yeah.
the
Oh,
defiant
The
okay.
one,
Yeah.
yeah,
the more defiant
Yeah.
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just like the
Mm-hmm.
whole system of it is just like bananas. I was talking to Afro Humanist the other day about when she was doing the Kanye thing, and he's like
Hmm.
he's the richest black man ever, and I was telling her about this particular guy, millennia ago, was the richest black man ever.
The African king.
Yeah, his wealth was so enormous when they traveled and then left. They collapsed the value of gold wherever they went. If you had gold, let's say hypothetically, it was worth $100 for an ounce.
Mhm.
When they got there, your gold was maybe worth about 10 cents an ounce. That's how much
Wow.
gold they brought with them as they traveled to Mecca.
That's
It
crazy.
was insane. It's absolutely. We're talking about the man was worth hundreds of billions of dollars by modern terms. They went on a caravan across Africa. It was absolutely, the wealth is absolutely insane. And Kanye's talking about he's the richest black man or richest man ever. He's so full of shit.
This is what bothers me about Americans is that like
Wow.
sometimes we forget the rest of the world exists, and it happens.
Yeah.
in the
Oh
UK
yeah. Oh
too.
yes, definitely.
Because someone will say some shit, and I'm like, I get in arguments a lot of the time because people will say that there's black erasure going on, and I'll say in America, yes, but like there's 1.2 billion black people in Africa. Black people are gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Black people are, you know.
It's crazy. Like,
I think
you
we
know,
forget about
America.
how
We cannibalize our own propaganda.
Yep.
America is the greatest country on the earth, and everybody want to move here. That's bullshit. Not everybody wants to move and live in America. Some people
Okay,
like better
listen.
healthcare.
As much as I love you all, I'm going to leave you all
Mhm.
talking. You can end the live stream. It's nearly 1 o'clock.
Now I gotta eat
Yeah,
dinner,
right.
so I'm
What
checking.
you
they gotta
eating? What
go.
you eating? What you eating for dinner? That voice is.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to make some Nigerian food. I'm trying to,
Yeah, shoot.
maybe somebody can teach me.
I
Maybe
can
somebody.
teach you. I can teach you. We can do a
Oh,
live stream.
You know how to
Do a
cook
live
Nigerian
stream.
food?
Yeah, I can cook. Yeah, of course. Cook some jollof rice for you.
Oh,
Yes,
jollof.
show you how to cook jollof
Oh.
rice. Mhm.
Jello fries? That sound like
Yeah.
that sound like Australia. That sounds made up. I don't believe in Jello fries.
No.
Jello fries?
rice is done in Ghana, is done in Nigeria, Togo.
You say
So
Jello
recently-
fries?
Recently,
Jollof.
I had a
Jollof.
carne asada pizza. I didn't think it was real. It was a Mexican pizza. It was the greatest thing ever.
Well, carne asada is delicious.
Oh
That's
my word!
that's-
But
that's
you can
delicious.
easily mess it up on pizza. It was amazing. It was amazing. Now I'm hungry. Oh.
Look, guys, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out of
Yeah,
here.
we got
She's trying to make me
Me
Jello
too.
fries.
And godless,
my
godless,
not
godless,
jello, jello.
godless.
Oh, Jello.
Dinner's ready, right?
Oh yeah, no, Isaiah already has it out. He's probably already eaten it and putting it away.
Oh
Or
goodness.
it's sitting
Oh,
in the oven.
goodness.
Like he's so efficient. It makes me feel useless
Ah.
sometimes.
That's nice. That's
That's
so nice.
lovely.
Well,
That's
gentlemen,
nice.
it was nice talking to you.
Nice, yeah, nice
And
talk
thank
with
you
you
for
too.
coming. That voices.
Thanks
Godless.
for coming.
This was so
That
nice.
voices,
This
yeah.
impromptu
Impromptu,
conversation is fantastic. I absolutely
Yeah.
loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone, thank you very much. Everyone in chat,
everyone.
appreciate you all. We can't do this without all of you.
Correct.
So, but guys, it's Halloween
Good night.
tomorrow, so we will be back. We
All
we have to do a
right.
Halloween stream. I've got my I've got my costume. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna
Can-
come dressed.
Can I dress up like Shanny's mouth?
Oh, oh,
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Why are you looking like
the
that?
Toxic Avenger. You gonna be the Toxic Avenger or what? Oh wow!
oh gosh,
And suddenly I'm not hungry. Suddenly I'm not hungry.
Kind
For
of.
dinner.
My
Esther, you
goodness.
look
my
disappointed with me.
Of
She
all
looks-
the things, God. Please
Okay.
to think that that woman once had access to 750K and those teeth
Yeah.
got that way
Oh gosh.
with all that money. I
Yeah.
tell you, money does
Lot
not belong in the hands of everyone.
No.
Some people do not need to be rich. Just
Well,
keep money away from them.
they don't have forward vision, saying like,
I don't
hey,
know. I don't know what they don't.
700,000.
Just theirs is something. Theirs is just madness.
give me 700. I'll still have it.
Well, guess
Or
what?
invest.
This is the
No,
thing.
I wouldn't have all of it. right? I know I won't have all of it, but
Right.
at
A
least
big
Like,
you
sum.
I
see what
would.
I,
Uh,
at least you
I
see
would
what
have
I
more.
got with it.
I would have more.
right.
You see what I
Yeah,
got with
exactly.
money.
I
Exactly.
would have
right.
more.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know how to flip some stuff. I'll be grinding. I
Damn right.
mean, yeah. I mean, I would have more. You give me 700 grand, I'll have more. I mean, you had to think he was living off of. He would have still had money if he never met Shannon. He was getting
Yeah.
about $33,000 a year in
Oh,
dividends and revenue. That's what he was living off. He wasn't touching the principal. When Shannon
oh,
came, that's when they burnt through the
oh
principal.
gosh.
So
Oh
he was
goodness.
getting 33 grand a year and had
And
2 houses, not one house. He had
Oh,
2 houses that were completely furnished and paid for. 2.
oh,
What?
and
The
it
uncle
turns
house
out
was his
it
house.
turns out it turns out
not having to go to work.
while he was wet brain trying to come off the alcohol,
Hmm.
Shani had she had access to his money, and she made some financial deals. She invested in stocks. I don't know what was it that voice you would know.
I'm not sure, but
She
the thing
invested in
was,
some
Did she get
things.
ripped off
she
though?
did not have to touch it. His mother invested blue chips, great stocks. He
Mm-hmm.
was getting 33 grand a year. He was living off of that. He did not go out and buy a new car. He did not go out and buy new clothes. He drunk alcohol, bought a few games, and that was it. He was not, I don't even think he was spending 33 grand a year that he was getting. He wasn't even spending it. He would still have all of his money right now if he had never met Shannon. But the thing is, he was told, she's coming for you. Stay the hell away from her. She's going to destroy your life. He
He
was
was
told that
warned.
before.
He was
He was
warned.
warned. And
Mm.
you know what he said? I know what the hell I'm doing, blah, blah, blah,
He
blah.
fucked
Okay.
around and found out.
Found out.
Yeah.
Big
Oh,
time.
oh,
Have you
oh,
seen?
oh.
Have you
Esther,
guys seen? Have you guys seen?
I know
Have you
what you're
guys? Have you guys seen?
tell
Hang
her,
on,
Esther.
hang on.
Tell him,
Have you
tell
guys
him,
seen?
tell him,
Have
tell
you
him.
guys seen?
Tell him. You gotta show it, Esther. Show it.
Have you
Phil
guys
hasn't seen it.
seen?
Phil hasn't seen it. Phil
I
hasn't
have
Rev,
seen
seen
it.
it. I
Rev
You
have
was
seen it.
seen
on.
it.
Rev was on the news.
You saw that,
There's
right,
a
Phil?
there's a
But
Stop,
video.
Esther.
I
No,
haven't
no,
seen
stop.
it.
Esther, stop.
Where can I
Phil,
find it?
Phil, have you seen
Where can I
this?
find it?
the
Have you
one
seen
he
this?
was on the news?
Yes,
I told you Phil
No, I
hasn't
haven't
seen.
seen that
Don't
one.
tell him.
I
Don't
thought you were
tell him.
talking
I need
about
to
the
find it. Okay, we
Who
need to
got
round
it?
up.
No,
Esther.
Wait, hang
whenever I
on.
see Shani or Rev on Twitter, I skilled right past it.
No.
Right?
Y'all,
Hold on,
Godless,
I'll
have you
find
seen
it.
this?
I'll
Have
find
you
it.
seen
I'll
this?
find it.
No.
You guys
I'll
got to
find
see
it.
this, and then we'll leave.
No.
I'll find it.
Y'all got to see this.
Okay, I know where it is now.
Y'all got to
That
see
man
this.
is a train
Oh,
wreck.
so
That
hold on
man is a
while she's looking for that. Okay,
shipwreck.
update says Rev and Shannon were getting kicked out of the hotel. They were behind. They hadn't paid rent. G-Man was supposed to
Right.
pay rent. G-Man hadn't paid the rent. He's like, they're on their
Mhm.
own. The hotel manager on recordings on the three-way call he didn't know he was on told them they had to be out this Friday. This Friday, they had to be out. So we was waiting for the homeless saga. We want them in the car streaming from McDonald's Wi-Fi. We need this in our life. So, some events happened Thursday.
Whoa, this Thursday.
Some events happened Thursday. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah,
You sure that's it? Go ahead, click it.
100%. Yeah,
You sure?
yeah, it is.
Okay.
You want me to play it?
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Press.
Make it big.
to
Make it
sleep
big too.
tonight as temperatures dip near freezing.
I heard a boom, boom, boom at the door, and I'm like, what is this?
Jason Egroff woke up to firefighters pounding on his and other residents' doors after an oil spill at Motel 81 in Scott Township. According to the residents, the spill happened because of missing copper pipe in the basement of the building. Once the spill was under control, Egroff and others were told to get out. He says the owner of the motel didn't offer them any assistance.
No notice, no sympathy. Not, we're going to do this for you. Like, he's got a bunch of homeless people here now. It's insane.
We reached out to the motel owner who said the building is condemned and that to his knowledge, no people were on or staying in the property.
Oh shoot.
Residents who wish to remain anonymous say that isn't true.
The owner was here, and my husband went up to him and asked him, "What are you going to do for us? This is your problem." And he says, "There's nothing we can do. It's not our problem. It's your problem. You got to find a place."
We did reach out to Scott Township Police to see if anything was being done for the residents still staying at the property, but they did not respond to us. Jack Hulkin, Newswatch 16, live in
What
the
the
newsroom.
bird?
Listen, that happened Thursday. So you know what that means, right? The grift continues. Like Red Cross will come in and give hotel vouchers to people and try to help them out. Now they can go online and say, we lost where we was living at. They will leave out the fact that they were supposed to be out of there that next morning. They had no money to pay for it. But no, it was an oil spill and that's why we need money. And they will grift
Oh,
people.
goodness.
And missing copper pipe, where like here,
Really?
that's some tweakers went and stole that.
Well, check this out. And people want to know how that could happen. And one thing, fuel oil is diesel.
Oh, yeah.
Most people don't know that. Diesel and fuel oil is the same exact thing. No difference whatsoever. So for one, it's taxed different than the other. But when you pull up in a fuel oil truck and you go to refill the tank of a building like that, it has an internal tank most of the time. So you pull up and you put your nozzle in it and you start pumping. They ordered 300 gallons. You pump 300 gallons. But say you're pumping and it's running out the tank, you would not know that. But people will start smelling the diesel and all of that. Some people say, well, maybe the hotel manager did it for that. I have certifications that deal with the EPA. He'd be looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. He could go to jail behind doing something like that. And plus the cleanup of all that contaminated soil under the building. So somebody stole the pipes or the pipe ruptured. But yeah.
Or Shani farted and burst the pipes.
Well, we know it didn't burst from them taking a bath. We know that didn't happen because they don't take a bath.
Anyways,
We got to go. But yeah, Jason was.
I'm trying to stop.
Jason was on the news.
It's amazing how someone who once had access to 750K, 2 houses,
Yep.
everything was all set. He never had to work a day in his life.
Yep.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Well, that's a sad tale.
Yep.
A cautionary
sad.
tale.
Yeah.
And how this for me, I don't know, just G-Man in possession of Rev's home, and Rev is homeless. I don't know. I have a problem with that.
He plied them with drugs. He manipulated
what
them.
anyone's saying. But G-Man, that home will always be a thorn in G-Man's flesh. If I was him, I'd just get rid.
He supplied them with drugs. He manipulated them while they were trying to manipulate him. That idiot outwitted the other 2 idiots. I mean, that's what it is. None of them deserve that home.
That those idiots. No. G-Man is still an idiot. Will always remain an idiot.
Yeah. He just outmaneuvered those 2 idiots.
When idiots, but hang on. So where has he got him? This maneuvering, what he has done. Where's he got him?
Well, he's an idiot, so he don't know how
to. He's in possession of a home that he cannot sell. Apparently, the liens on that home is about over 30K.
It doesn't matter.
All right then. Okay.
When I'm saying it doesn't matter, depends what the value of the land and the house is. One, when people say the house has to be torn down, they're factually wrong. You rip the whole roof off and put a new roof on it before you do that. So it depends what the house is worth. But if somebody wants to buy the house, they'll do a contract. They'll pay all the liens and everything. So instead of him walking away with 60, 70, 80, 200,000, it would be less whatever it takes to close that deal.
Okay.
So yeah, it's he don't got the money to clear the liens, but he could sell that home with liens on it. But whoever buy it it's going to be in a contract that they take care of that. They get the title free and clear. He releases his interest in the property, but he wants to hold on it because he doesn't know how business works. He could have instead of putting 1 penny in the house, if he would have sold it right out, he probably would have made about $40,000-$50,000. Could have bought him a little RV and lived in North Carolina in a nice little spot and worked like he worked. G-Man does work.
What does he do?
He does work. Everything. He jump off buildings. He take out asbestos. He does everything.
He shot a con, chaka pan.
I'm a con.
Well, me and Esther was talking about this when we go. G-Man was trying to tell Rev and Shani that they might need to go get a tent and this and that. So his survival skills ain't that good because he didn't give him the good information. But this is the thing. G-Man is a survivor. G-Man is the embodiment of a cockroach. He's a hustler. You can't kill G-Man. He been hit by 4 damn cars. And
Yeah,
he's still here.
He's been hit by 4 cars.
He
Yes.
been hit 4 cars. And GP said hell don't
For-
want him and
for a
heaven
man-
don't either.
Yeah,
For a man, for a man that doesn't know how to drive, but has been hit by
By
4
4
cars.
cars.
And
You know, where I'm from, that's insane to hear that
insane.
someone is a grown man and doesn't know how to
The
drive.
hit-
Where I live, you can't go anywhere
Wait.
without a car.
Yeah, where I'm at
my,
too.
my son was 18 when he passed his
Driver's test.
he's got his own. He's 20 now, but he bought his own car himself, right?
Exactly.
And here you have a man who's nearly 50.
Yeah.
Oh,
G-Man's
yeah.
nearly 50.
Yeah. But the whole thing about
It rides a girl's bike, by the way.
yes, if you have some kind of you're mentally
Unstable.
disabled or something like that, or you're elderly or you're blind, and if you got hit by cars multiple times, I'm like, I see that, okay, I can understand that. That's somebody need to really help that person out. But G-Man is the authority on how to live your life successful. He's the expert in everything. So when he's getting hit by cars, getting multiple UTIs, paying $1,300 for Intego,
And
I'm
fighting,
like, dude.
fighting atheists online.
Yeah.
That's why I
Just
think
give
he's
me the
mentally
break.
ill, because he comes with rules. He
Exactly.
says you have to be on my channel and blah blah blah, and you have to
Yeah.
do this and this. Like, what is
Challenged me.
Bro.
He challenged me to a debate.
This is simple. G-Man has never had
Based
control
on
over
why I
anything
don't
until
believe
he
in
got to
God.
YouTube. Once he got to YouTube, felt that he could mute and block people. He
Yeah.
never had control over anything in his life, at a job,
Someone-
in his family. I think, honestly, Reverend Shandy's probably lying about him being institutionalized for 3 years. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But I do believe there's a possibility G-Man gets a check. And that's why his sister takes care of him all of these years.
Yeah, I can
Right.
see that.
And that's why he works under the table.
Right.
Because SSI will hook you up if you have any in America. If you have a
To hook me up.
disability,
To hook me up with G-Man. You
No,
want to hook me up with G-Man?
no, he
No,
said
in America.
SSI. He did say UTI. He said
No,
SSI.
Oh no. I thought he said he'll hook me up with
No, it's
G-Man.
It's my accent. In America,
He'll hook me
Social
up
Security
with my
will-
favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite.
like if you lived in America, your son would be getting an SSI check.
Well, look
Yeah.
at like this too, Godless too. Check it out. When he would have qualified, this is stuff he talked about when he was in the primary school. He got in a fight and they had to give him Thorazine. Thorzine's a freaking tranquilizer that
Yeah.
they give patients that's out of control.
It's a
check this out.
PRN.
Check this out. Back then, that
Guys,
steals
1
on the
o'clock.
time all the mental institutions were shutting down. He would have got a check a lot easier back then.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about 80s. We're
The
talking
Reagan
about early
era,
80s. Yeah, he would have got disability and got a check, and they would have moved him in with a sister family member. I think G-Man still get a check now.
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
That's
It's
I
food
possible.
can't wait until this is on one of his clips. I can't wait.
He hate.
It's
Hey,
legal. It's
he got it
legal.
in. He got it in for Esther. He got it in for her. he got a UTI hard on for her. I'm
I
telling you.
unsubscribed, and then when he started whooping about you, Esther, I subscribed to him again. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll
He's gonna have a look.
again. All right, give him another chance. All right, because he's it's amazing. You know what? I'm a charged person. I couldn't keep it at 11 like he does, and I'm super charged. Like
That's the manic. That's the manic in him.
he's great.
That's the absolute
Yeah.
manic in him. And then when he goes real manic for a couple days, he'll burn out and disappear for almost a week or more. He collapses. He goes back down. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all guys go.
I'm about to say, I know we got.
Yeah.
All right, guys, y'all take
All right,
it easy.
guys.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you very much.
All
We'll be
right.
back
Yes.
tomorrow. Good night,
All right.
everyone.
Good
Good night, everyone.
Uh,
Oh gosh.
gosh. Oh.